pictures to bio and then see what this week has in store for me in terms of other stuff.
You know, Tsukihime does this to us all the time too, where I always question whether or not the audio is actually working every time we start a session, because sometimes there's just not music playing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that happens to me all the time in this game. Is I'm like, oh, I wonder what the deal is with the. Oh, look at the kitties. And Bio was clearly typing a message to go with the Artoria for the week. Let's see, Artoria, but she's an intergalactic bounty hunter from an alternative universe who hunts down Saber-class servants because she believes that nearly the entire Artoria species is a blight upon the multiverse, that she is also an Artoria is her biggest secret, but she's terrible at hiding it.
Yes, my, like, unironically, actually my favorite one of the Artoria designs.
I'm curious to see if you can pull up the correct Artoria.
Well, yes, easily. But my servant off.
Which is why I haven't shown you the image that I got yet.
I mean, mine's gonna be a different color because I've got her in a costume, but it's clearly just MHX.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's just white MHX as opposed to blue MHX or weird MHX or the crazy thing is her noble phantasm. You know that episode of SAO with the big enemy boss and the dual wielding?
Uh-huh.
It's that.
What?
Yeah, her mystic art is her mystic art. Her noble phantasm is just Starburst Stream. It's not called Starburst Stream, but it's literally Starburst Stream.
I love the bio. Like, it's a very specific description, Willow. It'd be amazing if you didn't get. Look, there's also, to my understanding, about 8.2 billion Artorias in that game.
Here's the other thing that's fun about MHX and the other MHX kind of variants, Mysterious Heroine X, this variant of Artoria. If the art style on it looks kind of familiar, there's a reason for that. So the illustrator is an individual called Bun Bun, who, as it turns out, is a different pseudonym of the illustrator who goes by Abac, that is the primary illustrator for Sword Art Online.
Okay.
It's literally the SAO artist.
Bio says, yeah, she pulls out an offhand lightsaber to go along with her Excalibur and then goes Kirito on someone's ass.
She really does. It's unfortunately, you don't have a playback in the thing, so I'll have to do it this way. Which is to go to MHX. Jump to the wiki page, scroll down to the Noble Phantasm section. No, not the append section, Nino. Jump into the video. It's literally Starburst Stream.
That seems unnecessary.
No, it seems entirely necessary. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing unnecessary about that in any capacity. I have no idea why my volume was up so loud. But anyway, welcome. She also spent the first couple of years of her time in the game being totally insufferable because she never shut the fuck up about killing sabers in every single line she had. Yeah, it was great. Except for one. There was one saber that she did not have a bizarre desire to kill. And it was another Artoria, because obviously. But
why would it be any other way?
But it's okay. She's had some character growth, and now she mostly just shows up and talks about being hungry because she, you know, Mihoshi.
Mm-hmm.
kind of that.
Yikes.
She's kind of. They make a joke of her, like, kind of seeming to not be very good at her job and or not actually make any money at her job. So she's always showing off being hungry and then having to be fed because she's hungry.
She really just is Mihoshi.
Yeah, it's kind of just Mihoshi, but Artoria.
Okay, so night falls.
Night does fall. Tosaka looks like she's prepared herself a bath while I was cleaning up after dinner. Honestly, she's acting like she owns this place right from the start.
今後のためにも早いうちに主導権を握っておくべきだろうな。
Easier said than done. I get the sense seizing the initiative is going to be real hard. Well, how many points have you put into, you know,
頭が痛いのが
Dex?
もう一人いるんだよな。
And have you taken alert as a feat? Actually, Saber's probably my bigger obstacle. Tosaka can be reasoned with, but Saber seems completely impossible to convince, no matter what.
セイバーか。悪いやつじゃないっていうのだけはわかるんだけど。
Saber's back in her room. Clearly, Shiro's only ever put all of his points into endurance. Well, Tosaka's probably back in her own room in the detached area of the house, which, as we discovered, is actually attached, because there's a hallway.
Yep.
I'm the only one in the living room. There's still time before bedtime, so I should probably talk to Saber a bit more. Honestly, I'll need to overcome my awkwardness around her, or else I'm going to suffer for it. Whether she's a servant or not, she's still a girl, and younger than me. Shiro, servants from history, my guy. She's, like, decidedly older than you. And also dead. But, you know, I'm sure I could learn a lot about her if we talked. Plus...
早いとこ慣れないといつまで経っても遠坂に冷やかされる。
Oh, that's cute. You think Tosaka will stop looking down on you. And that's a problem. I don't want that, so I should work on talking to her more casually. I go back to my own room. The room next to mine, separated by a single sliding door, is Saber's room.
セイバー、起きてるか？
起きています。何かありましたか、マスター。
Saber slides the door open. I try to get the hammering of my heart under control as she comes near. Let's see. Each different route is basically Shiro discovering that there are stats other than endurance that he can put in stocked up points into. Yeah. Calm down. I'm only going to talk to her as a master.
シロ、顔色が優れませんが、傷が開いたのですか？
いや、そんなことはない。体の方はとっくに大丈夫だ。それを言うなら。
はい、問題はありません。今の状態では完治まで時間はかかりますが、このままでも平均値はクリアしていますから。バーサーカー以外の相手ならば互角に渡り合えるでしょう。
I am 1,000,000% confident I can take any servant in this war. Except Berserker. Berserker will fucking murder me. Because my stats are currently shit, thanks to you. I don't sense any pretension from her. She's simply stating the truth. I don't have any response to give. Saber's words may be encouraging to a master, but I still don't want a delicate-looking girl like her to fight.
That's literally her job, you complete dumbass.
その一つ聞くけど、セイバーは戦うこと以外に何か目的はないのか？せっかくここにいるんだから、他にしたいこととかあるだろう。
Ah, yes, I would like to win the Grail War. No, I
他の
mean...
目的ですか？そのようなことはありませんが、サーバントは戦うためだけに呼び出されたものです。 それ以外の目的など余分なだけだ。シローの発言はひどく的が外れています。
Shiro, are you okay? Is your wound opened up? Huh? Oh, no, that's actually totally healed now. Literally how? Would it be more or less alarming if I told you I had no damn idea? Yeah, Shiro's just fucking Wolverine for some reason. I figured. I'm trying to tell someone not to fight when it's their only reason for being here. Yeah, that's like if you walk into an arcade and you see somebody playing games, you're like, hey, now that you're here at the arcade, isn't there anything else you want to do other than play video games? Literally, no, I came here to play video games. Well, yeah, but they have a snack bar.
Yeah, but don't you want Cheetos, though?
No, you could go get some Doritos and Mountain Dew. It's just that Saber lacks humanity.
Rude?
That might be enough if fighting is all she's gonna do, but she's right in front of me, looking like an actual human. So it doesn't feel right for her to just fight. If Saber's gonna be here, she should at least do something she enjoys, or it'll all seem like it was in vain. Okay, then let her fight. She likes fighting.
サーバントってのは過去の英雄なんだろ？なら
I'd been about to ask her what she was like before she became who she is now, but I stopped myself.
私の新名は教えられません。
During the day, Saber said that was going to be a secret between the two of us. So I wouldn't be surprised if Saber refused to tell me anything about her past.
シロ、言いかけてやめるのはよくありません。必要な質問なら答えますが。
いや、今のは忘れてくれ。バカなことを口走りそうになっただけだ。
I avert my eyes to try to change the topic. It really was a stupid question. I thought I wasn't interested in Saber's identity, and Saber's been refusing to tell me because it's not safe.
Because you're an idiot.
Bringing up something like this would just prove I'm a bad master, dwelling on unimportant stuff, like who my servant is. But what else can I talk to her about then? Oh, ask her how she feels about squid. Like, as a food. That'll get a rise out of her. If I can't ask anything about Saber, the only other topics left would be me. That would be even more pointless. I'm grasping at straws here. If I can't ask about her identity, I'll just have to ask about what Saber likes, what she wants to eat for breakfast tomorrow. I don't care if she's gonna look at me funny. I'm ready to ask all the futile questions I want, damn it.
シロ、あなたから質問がないのなら、私から尋ねていいでしょうか。
いいけど、何？
昨夜のことです。シロは私を助けようとしてバーサーカーに打ち倒されました。
Nope, concussion blocked that out.
それは覚えていますね。
Guess in Shiro's defense, there are a good number of servants that would totally be up to goofing off if you ask them to. He just ended up getting one of the most serious-minded ones on his roll. Yeah. You got no nonsense Artoria over here.
覚えているけど、なんだよ。
Which implies there is a some nonsense or all nonsense Artoria.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say.
I love that you're deliberately not saying more to prevent Bio getting mad at you.
I mean, we've seen Squirtle
ですがこれ
already.
はあなたという人間を知るために聞いておくべきことだと思う。
Also, MHX is kind of nonsense. Sometimes as well, so.
シロ、
Bio, I just showed you a description you could only read as this is totally non-serious gag character.
No, personally, I think being a unit that hunts other units could be loads of fun. And I would absolutely write that character as self-loathing instead of comic relief or or nonsense-based.
近寄ればどうなるかシロには分からなかったのですか
So why'd you try to fight a giant hulking wall of muscle? Seemed like a good idea at the time. Of course I knew. I knew getting near that thing would definitely be the end of me.
And yet, here you are, somehow still breathing.
Still, I tried to save Saber, not out of some foolishly optimistic belief I could. I just tried to save her. I didn't care about what would happen afterward.
Your brain's finally collated words. Good? Good, I'm glad to hear that.
Shiro, why did you fight a sentient wall of muscle? Well, I thought I could maybe jump over it. Am I missing some context here? Don't worry about it. Saving Saber was my top priority in that moment. If anything. The fear of not being able to save Saber was greater than my fear of being killed.
悪い、忘れた。一瞬のことだったからな。その時の考えなんてわからない。きっと気が動転していたんだ。そうでもなけりゃ、あんな特攻はできない。
Now, Fire, he can't have zero wisdom. If he had zero wisdom, he'd be dead.
No, well, not necessarily dead, but definitely
Definitely
unconscious.
unconscious. Like, for sure unconscious.
Which Inu and I would know from personal experience.
Oh boy. Foxglove Manor.
Manor. One of these days, we should just, like, do a live stream that's just us sharing tabletop stories. Like the time I accidentally jinxed your character to death. And decided to wear the arrow that killed you as a necklace the rest of the campaign.
Which was only like one more session.
Still.
Rather than tell her the truth, I just say something to try to get myself out of the situation. I probably did it because of how seriously Saber was looking at me.
つまりただ自然に私を助けようとしたのですね
I can't even save the hot blonde European girl who's definitely my girlfriend, please believe me, who's right in front of me. Then what kind of hero of justice even am I? Yeah.
On an intellectual level, Shiro knew it was stupid. He just couldn't resist his own compulsion to help.
Shizen じゃない。気が動転してたって言っただろ。もう一回あんなことになったら、その時はきっとガタガタ震えてる。
No. No, Shiro, I'm pretty sure you won't be. Except for in the route that gets you killed. In the route where you somehow magically get to live, you're just gonna jump right in front of the dangerous thing. Again.
そうですねそれが正常な人間です自らの命を無視して
Except
他人
Shiro.
を助けようとする人間などいない
See, the thing you have to realize about Shiro, Saber, is that he has a hero complex and just, like, really wants to be Superman. But, you know, he's not nearly as strong or fast or indestructible as Superman. But he's a lot... What he does have a very, very strong talent for is being tremendously lucid while he's dying. He's probably the most lucid person in the history of people while he's dying. And Baz and I keep thinking about that every time we're playing Tsukihime. We get a dead end now. It's like, man, Shiki is just shit at telling us what's happening while he's dying. I miss Shiro. Shiro told us everything.
Oh, Let's see, Fire says, I do wonder what percentage of the Tiger Dojos are Shiro jumped in front of a metaphorical train again. I'd have to imagine it's most of them.
Well, time to keep a running total.
それは英雄と呼ばれた者たちでさえ例外ではないでしょう。ですからそんな人間がいるとしたらその人物の内面は
Like
どこか
common
欠落しています。
sense. For
その欠落を
instance,
抱えたまま進んでは待っているのは悲劇だけです。
her deep green eyes are trying to tell me something. And yet,
しつこいぞセイバー。あれは気の迷いだって言ってるだろ。俺だって死ぬのは怖いんだ。そんな聖人君子になんてなれるもんか。次にあんなことになったらその時はセイバーより自分を優先させるさ。
I don't believe you.
X. I try to mask my anxiety by just spouting a bunch of heartless crap.
それはよかった。私の思い違いなら問題はないでしょう。ええ、確かにシロは臆病です。道さえ間違えなければきっと正しい魔術師になれる。
Let me tell you, Shiro, Artori knows a thing or two about strategies. You'd be wise to listen to her on this one. Yep.
I will take a look at whatever you just sent me later, Mar.
なんだよ。臆病に見えるのか、俺。
You just said you were a coward.
置かれた状況を受け入れるために努力するあたりが特に。そういった賢明さを時に臆病というのです。恐れを知らない者は賢者になれないのと同じですね。
She seems relieved. Saber even smiles as she says this. It must be because of how lovely and elegant everything she does is. I can't think of anything else to say, so Saber and I spend the rest of our time alone in my bland room. Together. Alone together.
Such a simp.
Co-alone. And then night falls.
Again.
But then!
Because this is the line we started on today.
Artori, if you want Shiro to actually do what you tell him to and not get himself cut in half again, then calling him a bitch-ass coward almost certainly isn't the way to do that. I did not talk to Saber or Tosaka in the other room, and nothing much happened until it was bedtime. It's 11 now. Night has fallen. The lights in the house are off, and everyone inside goes to sleep to prepare for the upcoming day.
Because night has fallen.
For you see, night has fallen. But then!
Because Shiro loves nothing more than repeating himself.
I can't see, because we turned the lights off, so that
Because
we could
it's
go to
night,
bed,
you see.
because night fell. It must not be night yet. Oh wait, night has fallen. Never mind. I'm still lying on my side, eyes wide open. This is my room. Thank you. I should be sleeping, but it feels completely different now. It's quiet, but I hear Saber's breathing in the next room. I know. Of course I can hear sound coming from the next room if it's quiet. And since I can hear her breathing, I find myself imagining Saber's sleeping form. Can't just stay in this whole bed of needles situation forever.
Dude, it's been one night.
It's not even been that. Night just fell. How did you forget? Night only just fell, Willow. They just turned the lights out so they could go to bed.
It's 11 p.m.
It
Night's
is.
been fallen.
No, it literally just fell. We just heard about this. Sure, only know few word, understand, only use few word many times to say what mean. Sleep in your damn shed or something if you suck this much at controlling yourself. Yeah, right? I sneak out of my futon, trying not to wake Saber up. Which shouldn't be hard because night has fallen. And therefore,
助
the
かった
lights are out.
セイバー気づくと思ったけど割と鈍感なんだな
What did I not notice? Damn it! Unless she's a deep sleeper. I question whether she can really protect her master this way, but there's no immediate danger. Oh shit, there's Lancer. If servants are linked to masters, she would probably wake up immediately if her master's in danger. Based on no information
寝てるみ
whatsoever.
たいだな
Based on what information, Shiro? Have you checked? Because unless you've checked, you have no way of knowing that. The lights in the detached building are out. Yeah,
It's not
listen,
really detached.
First of all, not detached. Second of all, my lights are frequently out while I'm still wide awake.
Yep.
Right? This is not I can wander around a dark house. It's not hard.
Yeah, especially if you... I mean, to be fair, she hasn't been there long enough to, like, fully know her surroundings yet. But when I moved into my house, it took me maybe a couple of nights, if that, to get comfortable enough wandering around my second floor in the dark. Like, you really don't need lights on to be wandering around.
She's either just that defiant, or maybe she's naturally adaptable.
Why is being asleep the same thing as being defiant?
Because night just fell, so she shouldn't be asleep yet. Because Sasaka managed to blend in here in just a day.
Again, that's not defiant, that's adaptability. Defiant would be if you were, say, telling her, you're not allowed to go to sleep, and she goes, fuck you, I'm going to sleep. Our Uncle George, defiant. I've had enough of this bullshit, I'm going to bed, is being defiant about sleep. Or the need to stay awake, but just going to sleep because it's nighttime doesn't make you defiant.
まあ実際助かるんだよなあいつがいてくれると
Yep, she's a handful, but she is helpful. One bit of evidence of that is the bandage wrapped around my hand.
レージュは覚醒か言われてみるまで気づかなかった
I'd have just told people it was a sweet-ass tattoo.
That could potentially have entire sections of it disappear.
It's a temporary tattoo. Like, one of those, what do they call them? Heroin tattoos. Right? Those like the ones that they do with, like, the marker?
You're not talking about airbrush tattoos, are you?
I don't know. It's just ones that you have every so often. From...
Oh, henna!
Oh! I knew it started with an H.
I was so thrown off by the use of the word heroin.
That was close. The command spells Master's Bear appear somewhere on their arm. I just told people it was a sweet-ass tattoo. And then Taiga would have cut his damn hand off. So Shira's not wrong that it was a miracle for him that Rain decided to move in.
So no, I don't have any permanent tattoos. Every now and then.
She has accidental tattoos.
So, no, I've gotten henna deliberately. I've had airbrushed tattoos on my shoulder and back a time or two, because those last even longer than the henna does, just because let's be very clear. I think tattoos are sweet as hell. And anyone I meet that has a tattoo that I can see, I'm asking about their tattoo. Because tattoos are cool. One, our mother would murder me.
Only if she knew.
Our mother would absolutely murder me. But Also, I am such a big wuss and a big baby when it comes to needles that I would, like, you would literally have to sedate me to get a tattoo to actually for me to sit still enough for a tattoo. And I've looked into it. Tattoo parlors legally are not allowed to do that. So super illegal.
So Shiro's command spells appeared on the back of his left hand. Clothes won't work to hide it. For some reason. You could just wear a glove, my dude.
Yeah, what like
So,
I don't understand why clothing wouldn't hide it, but
but
a bandage
would,
can.
yeah. So I'll need to use bandages, even if it looks a bit awkward.
No, that's a terrible idea, Kevin.
Oh, see, there's an idea.
冬だし、長めの長袖を着てごまかそう。
Well, you just said clothes wouldn't hide it. Tosaka has hers on the opposite hand from mine, around the middle of her right hand or somewhere around there. The shape of command spells differ for each master, and I don't think I'll ever see Tosaka's one.
Then how do you know what hand it's on?
Because he knows what hand she's hiding, I guess. Shiro doesn't want to be known as that kid who suddenly started wearing fingerless gloves out of nowhere.
But fingerless gloves are cool as hell. I love fingerless gloves.
Yeah, fingerless gloves are great.
All of my winter gloves are fingerless gloves because I cannot stand trying to drive my car with mittens or full-fledged gloves on because I can't actually feel the steering wheel with my fingertips, and I hate that. So I'm a very, very, very big supporter of the fingerless glove industry.
Would be super believable he just fucked his hand up and had to bandage it since everyone knows Shiro's constantly messing around with shit to fix stuff. Yeah. Silence falls over the shed. This is where Lancer cornered me yesterday. And where Saber showed up. I like that the shed has a second floor, by the way.
Yeah, him and his 2-story shed.
The entrance is still open, and it's pitch dark inside.
Also, look at how many windows his shed has.
Well, at least 2. As if to repel anyone who might try to enter. But this darkness is familiar to me. I used to play here when I was young, and I feel it to be my real room. It sits silently under the wintry night sky. Don't fingerless gloves take away the purpose of the gloves? Like, your fingers will be freezing like heck? Well, yeah, but you're better off than not having gloves, because at least, your palm is not losing heat, so...
Yeah, it's still better than not wearing gloves, but you're not incorrect in saying that they're less effective than they could be. So I do also have a couple of those pairs of fingerless gloves where the mitten hood folds over the back.
Yeah.
So I can turn my fingerless gloves into mittens for while I'm, handling snow or walking outside, but can then peel it back to have...
Now we just need to have inverse fingerless gloves, where it's just
It's
fingers,
fingers.
and no palms or back of the hand.
So technically those exist.
It's just like wearing bugles on your fingers, right?
Pretty much, yes. They're basically finger condoms. But they exist.
But I also want it to be like the wrist. I just don't want the palm or the back of the hand, but I want the fingers and the wrist.
It's finger condoms tied to a bracelet, that's all. Single thread of yarn attaching them to like a cat collar around your wrist.
Now we just need to develop the same concept, but for socks. Like toeless socks.
I would hate those.
Or toe-only socks.
I'd hate those. Then again, I hate socks in general. Like, unless they're super fluffy, I do not like socks. I straight up wear shoes, like ballet flats without socks all winter, which is really stupid where Inu and I live. The fact that I haven't gotten frostbite yet is kind of a miracle.
I step inside. inside the shed.
So to answer your question, I just don't like feeling like something's restricting my foot, and because I have a large foot, most socks end up at least partially cutting off my circulation, and I don't like that. Also, it feels too restrictive, so no socks. Willow does not like socks.
After closing the door to shut out the cold, I turn on the stove. I cook some bacon. I have a nice breakfast. Night has fallen. It's 11 p.m.
そうだな。今日ぐらいは休もうと思ったけど、却下しよう。2日連続でサボったら親父にどやされる。
Did you hear any of that as words?
Yeah, that was all words.
Yeah, no, but I didn't hear any of the sound
Yeah, no,
associated with it.
it's there. Damn, can't sleep in my own house because there's cute girls there. Well, better go shove some searing hot steel rods into my spine. I sit down in the middle of the shed and take a deep breath. I should train. No pauses. Magecraft is a mental discipline to me, so I shouldn't skimp on my training for no good reason. I begin my training by getting my breathing under control. The usual images pop into my head. The image of a sword drifts into my empty mind. I try to ignore it and clear my head. As soon as magical energy runs through my body, I begin my usual training. My strengthening magecraft succeeded for the first time in years when I was attacked by Lancer last night. I need to recreate that same feeling before I forget, or else it'll have been for nothing. Okay. Remember the feeling of being scared shitless that I'm about to be stabbed.
And bleeding. I need to remember how it feels to be really badly bleeding.
I close my eyes halfway and release the air from my lungs. That's all I can do for now. As I concentrate, everything fades away. The Holy Grail War, Saber, Tosaka. That's all. That's it. If I allow my thoughts to slide into nothingness, any immature hesitations will fall away and I'll finally get a good night's sleep. Quick, I have to think about anything that isn't cute girls. Swords.
Why is it asking me to save?
It always does that at the end of a day. Probably don't explicitly need to, but that's
not a choice,
that's
right?
not a choice, no. That was night falling. It wasn't the exact same line. That was night falls, and the later one was night has fallen.
Same thing.
No, different. Welcome to February 4. Fate 5 New Life.
Out of curiosity, how many different ways can Shiro die on my birthday?
Hold on. It's the 4th on day 5, so we need day 11. Just twice. There's 2 on day 11. And one of them's like straight away, basically.
Do what? Does he get out of bed and walk straight into Heracles?
I don't know. It's day 11. I don't remember what's on every single day of the entire game.
You woken up here, have Heracles.
There's no deaths today, though. Day 5 is another deathless day. I feel the warm glow of the sun. I wake up, my head hazy, to the sensation of cold air on my cheek. Must be a draft.
あれ。銅像だ、ここ。
Yes, your delightful two-story shed.
I get up and shake my head 2, 3 times in an effort to wake myself.
そうか。昨日そのまま眠っちまったんだ。
After my nightly routine, training to fortify my senses, I must have been too lazy to go back to my room.
外の様子だと6時前ってところか。いかん。朝飯の支度しなきゃ。
He's completely forgotten that Tosaka's here, hasn't he?
I fold my blanket up, pick up all the broken shards from my failed strengthening attempts last night, and head back to the house to wash my face.
Ah, so he failed to do magic successfully again all night last night. Good. Good job, Shiro.
Ah, fuck, it's cold. You'd think it was February or something. The moment I step outside the shed, I realize just how chilly it is out. Miyama is typically warm even in the winter, but the temps here on the mountainside still get chilly. But then, I wash my face with ice-cold tap water, which finally gets my mind going. Oh look, he's got a bathroom with a sink, a tub behind a sliding glass wall, and a towel rack.
But no shower head in the tub glass space.
This is Japan.
That doesn't mean they can't have showers.
It's a Japanese style house. There's not a shower.
That's just wrong.
You run the bath, you get the bucket, fill it with water, dump it over yourself.
No.
Outside of the bath, on the little stool.
No, that's so messy.
I'm completely awake now. Once my mind's woken up, all the things I'd rather not be thinking about, like my current situation, come rushing back.
そうだ。のんきに顔洗ってる場合じゃなかったっけ
The time is 5:55. There's a ton to do, but first I need to head back to my room and check on Saber.
だよな。黙って部屋を出たことになるんだし、一言説明しておかないと。
I wouldn't want to upset Saber. Going to the shed in the middle of the night is a ritual for me, so I'm sure she'll understand as long as I explain myself.
セイバーにちゃんと説明したら、
Yes,
その後は
pinnacle of
朝飯の支度だろ
understanding, Saber.
遠坂は食べないらしいから、セイバーの分を足せばいいだけか。
Oh, I should go buy more ingredients now that I'll be cooking for more people. I should write that down before I forget. No, buy ingredients for 3. Wait, that's the same as normal. Huh. I have this nagging feeling that I'm forgetting something really important.
You mean like the fact that you usually have two other people show up for breakfast?
やっぱ6時だ。急がないと間に合わない。
Well, if I can't remember what it is, it's probably not important. I slowly open the door. The room is just as I left it. There's no sign of Saber waking up in the middle of the night and searching my room. It doesn't seem like she noticed I snuck out.
なんか拍子抜けたな。セイバーならそれぐらいは気がつくと思った。
Unless she was just in that deep of a sleep because she requires a lot of rest.
そうか。体を維持するために頻繁に眠るって言ってたのはそういうことかもしれない。
And she's sleeping as close to me as possible so she can rush right over if something does happen. Whatever the case, it shouldn't make much of a difference as long as I'm in the compound. The bounded field would detect any enemy intruders. I should be able to defend myself for at least a moment, which should give Saber enough time to get to me.
そうだよな。それに土蔵だったら隠れる場所には事
Yes,
欠かない
because
し。
hiding's the first thing you did during the attack with Lancer. Definitely wasn't trying to fight back.
Yeah, well, there was nowhere to hide in the living room. All he had was a rolled up poster. Anyway, I don't think I'll get scolded for what I did last night. I thought I would explain myself to Saber, but that doesn't seem to be necessary now. Besides, I'd hate to wake her up if she's still sleeping.
セイバー、朝飯の支度をしてくる。セイバーの分も用意しとくけど、眠かったら無理に起きなくていいからな。また後で来るから、それまで休んでてくれ。
After speaking softly to her, I head out of my room as quietly as I can. There's nobody in the living room. I open the refrigerator and plan out what I could make for breakfast. And then,
おはよう。朝早いのね、あんた。
Irene. Tosaka walks in looking obviously cranky.
遠坂、どうした？なんかあったのか？
別に。朝はいつもこんなだから気にしないで。
She needs her tea.
Tosaka staggers through the living room like a drunken ghost.
おい、大丈夫かお前？なんか目つきが尋常じゃないぞ。
Both of them to assume the bounty field is still hold up
だ
against
か
an
ら気にし
assassin.
ないでって言ってるでしょ。顔でも洗えば目が覚めるわ。ここからだとどう行くんだっけ？脱衣所って。
そっちの廊下からのが近い。顔を洗うだけなら玄関側の廊下に洗面所がある。
ああ、そういえばあったわね、そんなのが。
I don't know how much she heard, but Tosaka just waves a hand and walks away. But then, the doorbell rings, announcing a guest's arrival.
シロー、誰か来たけど。
I hear Tosaka's voice from the hallway.
ああ、気にしないでいい。この時間に来るのは身内だから。
It's gotta be Sakura. She has a spare key, so I don't even need to go to the door.
まったく、チャイムなんて押さなくていいって何度言っても聞かないんだからな、さくらは。
Sakura's like family, so she can just come in without bothering about the doorbell. But she's always polite enough to ring the doorbell to let me know she's here. I think that's one of the good things about Sakura, but one of these days she's gonna wear herself out from politeness. Hold on. Sakura is here. Fuck! I run through the hallway. Being angry at my own stupidity is going to have to wait. Right now, I need to rush to the entrance and send Sakura home before she runs into Tosaka.
In my hallway full of dressers.
Looking like she just rolled out of bed. Because she did. But it's too late. At the entrance. Look at the look on Sakura's face. Like, the fuck are you doing here?
Meanwhile, Tosaka's just like, it's too early for me to have to deal with your bullshit.
Tosaka is greeting the guest, even though I didn't ask her to, and Sakura looks surprised. Gotta love the instantaneous cutoff of the background music the second she realizes how much of a dumbass he is. Sakura stands at the entrance and Tosaka is in the hallway. The two of them are staring at each other, the air growing tense.
おはよう、マトさん。こんなところで顔を合わせるなんて意外だった？
Yes? Why are you here? Tosaka looms in the doorway, appearing to look down at Sakura.
トサカ先輩。
Sakura is utterly bewildered. She looks up at Tosaka, fear in her eyes. This is bad. I can't manage to get a word out. The two of them ignore me as they continue to stare at each other. There's no room for me to butt in here. The only thing I can do right now is try to think how to explain this situation to Sakura, but before I can come up with a good excuse...
先輩。これはどういう？
I'm sorry, I just rolled out of bed. It's too early for this. Sakura looks over to me, almost begging for help.
ああ、それが話すと長くなるんだけど。
Anyway, long story short, Rin lives here now.
長くならないわよ。単に私がここに下宿することになっただけだもの。
Gotta love Rin. Rin's just like, what long story? It's not a long story. I live here now. So you're telling me that I've spent the last few years coming over every day to visit Senpai, only for him to have gotten a girlfriend without me knowing? Damn it! Two of them, in fact. You haven't met the hot blonde European girl who's definitely his girlfriend, he swears. Please believe him. Tosaka's response is extraordinarily blunt. She just cuts me off and gets right to the point. Yep. She just decided yesterday that she was living here now.
遠坂にはしばらくうちにいてもらうことになった。
The one thing led to another, and Ren lives here now for the foreseeable
連
future.
絡を入れ忘れた。朝から驚かせてすまなかった。
謝らないでください先輩。確かに驚きましたけど、そんなのはいいんです。それより今の話、本当に。ええ、これは私とシローで決めたことよ。家主であるシローが同意したんだから、もう決定事項なの。この意味わかるでしょ、麻藤さん。わかるって何かですか？今までシローの世話をしていたみたいだけど、しばらくは必要ないってことよ。来られても迷惑だし、来ない方があなたのためだし。
Sakura looks down and falls silent. And after a chilling silence,
わかりません。はい？私には遠坂先輩のおっしゃることがわからないと言いました。ちょっとさくら、あんた。お邪魔します先輩。お台所お借りしますね。
excuse me, I'm going to make breakfast now. Sakura bows to me and walks into the house. She heads towards the living room, heading straight past Tosaka and flatly ignoring her.
No.
Senpai, is it true that Tosaka lives here now? Yes. But why? Her house exploded? Senpai, I don't think that's true. It sure isn't, but it's unfortunately the best I had. Tosaka just stands there, aghast. I'm no different. I've never seen Sakura act like that, and I don't know what to say. Well, that comes as a surprise, but it isn't the only one.
おい、遠坂。お前、どうして桜が俺ん家に来てるって知ってたんだよ。今まで、桜が俺の世話をしてたなんて、お前に言った覚えはないぞ。
ああ、それなら前にちょっと小耳に挟んだだけよ。
I definitely haven't been keeping tabs on you for reasons of my own.
それより驚いたわ。あの子、ここじゃあんなに元気なの？学校とじゃ大違いじゃない。
Tosaka must be really surprised given how annoyed she sounds. Which means Tosaka knows Sakura pretty well at school. Sakura seems to know Tosaka too, and the two of them appear to have a good senior and underclassman relationship I was unaware of. But that aside...
いや、俺も驚いてる。あんなにトゲトゲしい桜は初めて見た。うちに手伝いに来てくれてる時と学校での桜は変わらないよ。今のは
そうなんだ。まずったわね。さくらがあんなに孤児だとは知らなかったわ。こうなるんならシローの口から説明させればよかった。
Well, shit, I should have let you send her away. Obviously. Compared to Tosaka's merciless explanation, I would have handled that a lot better.
済んだことは仕方がないだろ。それより、まずいって何がだよ。
そりゃまずいでしょう。これからこの家は戦場になるかもしれないのよ。だから私たち以外の人間を寄せつけないようにってさくらをたしなめたのに、あれじゃあ逆に追い出すのが難しくなったじゃない。
Tosaka,
たしなめてたのか。
you said you knew Sakura
俺
would
は
be
てっ
here.
きりい
Ow.
じめてるのかと。
I've been stalking you for years. What? What?
そこ、なんかつまんないこと言った今。
率直な感想だよ。それよりさくらのことだ。どうする？ あの分じゃ帰ってくれそうにないぞ。
そんなのなんとかするしかないでしょう。で、さくらが来るのは朝だけ？それとも夕食もこき使ってるの？
誤解を招くような言い方するなよな。朝は毎日だけど夕飯はそう多くないぞ。
そう。それじゃあこれからは毎日になりそうね。
毎日って何がさ。
Because she has competition now.
As I tilt my head in confusion, Tosaka sighs in disbelief. Soon after, Tosaka remains in the living room while Sakura begins preparing breakfast in silence. What about Fujimura? Though, I was a little worried about leaving Tosaka and Sakura alone in the same room, but I'm not stupid enough to forget about Saber. Seems like Sakura's mad about Tosaka being here, so things will just get worse if Saber comes out too.
So instead, I'm just gonna take a full plate of food to my bedroom for some reason and come back without it.
Which is why I decide to explain the situation to Saber.
というわけなんだ。
Taiga will be fine as long as someone makes her a larger portion for dinner.
さくら、今うちに来てくれてる子はさくらって言うんだが、さくらは魔術師でもなんでもない普通の子で、聖杯戦争なんかに巻き込むわけにはいかないだろう。できれば知らないままでしばらくうちから離れていてほしいんだが。
I could break her legs. What the hell? I didn't come here to consult her on how to get Sakura away from here.
Shiro, there's a really easy thing you could do. Tell Sakura it's not gonna happen between the two of you and she needs to fuck off. It's your property, she can't be there. You seem to miss the entire point of owning your own house. It's so you can tell people to GTFO.
Does he own his house, though, or does old man Fujimura own his house?
Either way, it's not Sakura. So he can tell her to leave.
だからだな。今朝のさくらはどうもおかしいんだ。遠坂が原因なんだが、そこに追い打ちをかけるのもどうかと思う。いや、だからさくらは見知らぬ他人がうちにいることに驚いてるんだ。そこにセイバーが出てくるとさらにおかしくなりそうなんだが。待て、俺なんかセイバーに失礼なこと言ってないか。
いいえ、シローの言いたいことはわかります。つまり私はここで待機していればいいのですね。
そうしてくれると助かる。さくらを送り出したらすぐに戻ってくるから、朝食はその時で。
Taiga owns the place, and if Shiro suddenly started being a dick to Sakura for no reason, then Taiga would beat his ass without hesitation. Saber nods quietly. I'm so glad Saber is so understanding. Okay. I'm worried about what's happening in the living room, so I should hurry back.
シロー。
なんだ、セイバ
ー。はい。そのようなことを私に説明する必要はありませんが、もう少し落ち着くべきです。先ほどからシローの言動は破綻しているかと。
慌ててるか俺。
とても。今に戻るのでしたら、その前に気を落ち着けることです。
Saber's advice is given in her usual tone. And breakfast begins as usual, like nothing happened.
どうぞ先輩。遠坂先輩もいかがですか？
Sakura hands me my bowl of rice. She's acting like her usual self. I don't know what happened while I was gone, but the tension between the two seems to have dissipated. At least on the surface.
じゃあお言葉に甘えて。
Tosaka hesitates a little before accepting a rice bowl. Sakura smiles as she puts bowls of miso soup, egg omelet, and other dishes on the table. Tosaka watches the table filling up, looking utterly flummoxed.
遠坂、お前朝飯は食べない主義じゃなかったっけ？
用意されたものは食べるわ。当然の礼儀でしょ、それって。
ま、いいならいいか。それじゃ、いただきます。あ、それと、結局支度を任せてすまなかったな、さくら。
This is basically the only place Sakura can go where she doesn't need to put up with her abusive dickbag of a brother. So Shiro would probably prefer not to burn that lifeline for her. Yeah.
いえ、これが私の仕事ですから気にしないでください。
This is not your job.
私もいただきますね。まったくいい身分だこと。後輩に朝食作らせるなんてどこの王侯貴族なんだか。まあそれはおいおい問い詰めるとしていただきます。
Listen, Tosaka, you have like an army of admirers. If you just let any of your junior classmen know where you live and give them access to your kitchen, I'm sure they'd be, you know, throwing themselves all over the place to make you breakfast. The three of us bow politely and begin breakfast. Sakura, as someone who does a lot of shit that doesn't have to because it's his job, making food for Shiro is not your job. Damn, nobody's talking.
Now, Bio, you say that like you have some sort of unofficially official job titles on like a YouTube channel that's not yours or something. Like stream historian or meme creator or recap writer, none of which we force you to do.
And none of those are his actual job title, thank you. Bio's job title is Research Department.
Just saying.
I guess the mood isn't that tense. Our breakfasts are usually pretty light on conversation. Sakura and I aren't really all that talkative, so it's no shock meals are so quiet. But why does breakfast feel so chaotic every day? Wait a minute. I get another nagging feeling. But then!
先輩、お魚の味付け濃かったですか？
いや、そんなことはないけどな。どうも、さっきからなんか忘れてる気がする。
What could it be? I try to convince myself that it's probably not important since I can't remember, but I feel like that's a terrible mistake.
Again, it's the concussion, dude. It's okay. Some mild short-term memory loss.
But you see, his memory was actually stored in his kidneys, and that got like obliterated by Berserker last night. So he has a new one now, but it doesn't have all the memories that his previous kidney had. Ripped by this sense of
Find that
dread.
as funny as they do.
Like I'm ignoring a fatal disease or something.
まあいいか。どうせ大したことじゃないんだろ。
It's probably not that big a deal. But then, I try to just shove the thoughts from my mind as I go back to eating. Just then!
Oh my god, it's really a just then. ... The writing in this.
おはよう。いやー、寝坊しちゃった。
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something important. Something like a hot blonde European girl who's currently sleeping in my room. No, that can't be it. There's a what in your room? Nothing. Fujine comes bursting in. Ah, I forgot. How could I have forgotten this? I guess I tried to just forget my problems rather than deal with them.
シロ、ご飯。
Fujine situates herself in her normal spot.
おはようございます、藤村先生。
The two greet her in unison.
はい、どうぞ先生。大したものではありませんけど、召し上がってください。
Sakura hands her a rice bowl with her usual smile. Fujine takes the bowl and tilts her head in confusion. She senses something strange, but doesn't know what exactly it is. Fujine quietly chews her food. And after finishing a whole bowl of rice, she leans over to whisper in my ear.
ねえ、シロ、どうして遠坂さんがいるの？
Oh, she lives here now.
うちに下宿することになったからだ。
You know, for these two being people who Shiro has spent every day with for the past few years, he sure is quick to forget they exist.
Yes.
I stick to the facts.
あ、そうなの。遠坂さんも変わったことするのね。
Taiga's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Sasaka's kind of a weirdo like that.
You know, yeah, given Shiro's shit memory, I wonder if he actually stores his short-term memories in his intestinal tract and then they literally just leave out of his body periodically.
No, see, just as it turns out, all of the memory related to, like, Sakura and Fujimura coming over to the house regularly, that long-term memory was actually stored in his stomach. And that got obliterated by Berserker last night, so, you know, memory went with it.
あいつ結構変わり者だ。学校じゃ猫かぶってる。
そっか。今日からここに下宿するのか。
Fujine seems to accept this and takes a big gulp of her miso soup. But then... Maybe it's just the mind-numbing pain from those steel rods he shoves into the center of his spinal column every night, causing his brain to short-circuit. Or it could be the brain damage. Or the brain damage. The table suddenly flips violently.
Don't mind me.
Luckily-
Definitely not taking screenshots.
Luckily, Sakura is sitting out of the path of the flying food, while Tosaka had already moved away, apparently predicting what was about to happen. So I'm the only one who ended up splattered.
何すんだよ藤根。味噌汁だぞ、炊きたてのご飯だぞ、つくね煮込んだ鍋物だぞ。こんなもんかけられたら熱いだろってなぜに朝っぱらから鍋物だぞ。
Also, yeah. Also, why are we having hot pot for breakfast, Sakura? What the hell?
うるさーい。あんたこそ何考えてるのよ、シロ。同い年の女の子を下宿させるなんてどこのラブコメだい。私はそんなタチの悪い冗談じゃ笑ってやらないんだから。
The table suddenly flips violently in a 180-degree fashion, sending the food squarely to my side, where it will now remain on my face for the rest of this conversation.
冷やしたタオルでしたら用意しておきました、先輩。
サンキュー、助かる。うわっ、襟元からつくねが必要以上に加熱されたつくねが。
タオルは後。そんなことより申し開きしなさい、シロ。あんた本気でそんなこと言ってるの？
No, no, Tosaka's house
そんなの当た
exploded.
り前だ。俺がこの手の冗談苦手だって知ってるだろ。とにかく遠坂はうちに止めるんだ。文句は聞くけど変更はしないから言うだけ無駄だぞ。
Nothing wakes you up in the morning quite like horrific soup burns.
何のつもりか知らないけどダメに決まってるでしょ。同い年の女の子と一緒に暮らすなんて。
What about two girls, one of whom is a hot blonde European who's definitely my girlfriend, please believe me? Fujine roars. Well, that went about how I expected. Fujine is my guardian, and she's also a school teacher. I don't think I'm getting out of this situation with 100 whacks from a wooden sword, or even 100 cuts from a real one. But unfortunately, I have to find a way to live with this.
いや、そこをなんとか。別にやましい気持ちなんてないし、遠坂とはそういう関係でもないんだ。ただ、たまたま事故に遭ったっていうか、成り行きで部屋を貸すことになっただけなんだってば。
うるさーい。ダメなものはダメなの。
Go cry to my dad about it.
私は下宿なんて許しません。遠坂さんの事情は知らないけど、ちゃっちゃと帰ってもらいなさい。
Ugh, she's not even willing to listen. This is bad. Guess she's not as easy to convince as I thought.
先生、下宿は許しませんとおっしゃいますけど、私はすでに一泊してしまったのですが。
Tosaka's so casual about how she puts it. Her words seem to be like cold water dumped over Fujine's head. Rin, not helping.
ですから昨日止めさせていただいたんです。いえ、正確には土曜の夜からお邪魔していますから2泊でした。今は別棟の客間を借りて荷物も運んであります。どうでしょう先生、客観的に見て私はもう下宿している状況なのですが。
Rin, the prettiest girl in school, is now living with Shiro. Yep. The color drains from Fujine's face.
シロ、あんたなんてことするのよ。こんなことキリツグさんが知ったらどうなるか分かってるの？
Good job, son.
どうなるかって、親父だったら間違いなく喜ぶぞ。男の解消とかなんとか言って。
Yeah, exactly.
同感。キリツグさん、女の子にはとことん甘い人だったからな。そっか。それが遺伝してるんでしょ、シロのバカ。
Fujine grabs my collar and shakes me. Well, my old man did always teach me to protect girls. I'm not as chivalrous as my old man was, but I still agree. Even so.
何？助け舟出してほしいの？
You know, I guess it would actually be a lie if they said Irene... Wouldn't actually be a lie if they said Irene was staying here because her house was being remodeled, seeing as Archer's probably still busy fixing that hole he left in the roof. Guys have it pretty tough, though. Because of my chivalrous upbringing, I do have to keep in mind that, cold-hearted as she is, Irene is still a girl.
頼む。俺じゃ現状を打破できない。遠坂の政治手腕に期待する。
I nod in Tosaka's direction while Fujine shakes me.
オッケー。それじゃあサクッと解決しますか。
That's what she said.
藤村先生、エミヤ君を振っても出るのは悲鳴だけですから、そのあたりでやめてあげてください。それに下手をすると朝ごはんまで出てきかねません。何よ遠坂さん、そんな真面目な顔したって怖くないんだから。教師として、何より四郎の教育係として遠坂さんの下宿は認めません。
Fujine takes her hands off of me and turns towards Tosaka. It must be her feral instincts kicking in. She must have thought Tosaka would pounce on her if she kept her full attention on me.
それはなぜでしょうか。うちの学校には下宿している生徒も少なくありません。生徒の自主性を伸ばすのが我が校の方針ではありませんでしたか？
This is not a boarding house.
何よ、難しいこと言ったってダメなんだから。大体ですね、こんなところに下宿したって自主性なんて芽生えません。ご飯は勝手に出てくる、いつも綺麗、お風呂は勝手に沸いてるっていう夢のようなお家なんだから。こんなところ
外に居候してたら堕落しきっちゃうわよ、遠坂さん。
I say from experience.
藤ね
That hardly seems appropriate coming from a teacher.
それにね、原則として下宿していい生徒は家が遠い生徒だけよ。遠坂さんのお家、確かにここより遠いけど登校できない場所じゃないでしょう。さくらちゃんだってあっちから通ってるんだから下宿する必要なんてありません。
それが今うちは全面的な改装を行っているんです。
A man
古い
fell
建
through
物
my
でしたら
ceiling the other
そこ
day.
かしこにガタが来てしまっていて、改装が終わるまではホテルで暮らそうと考えていたのですが、偶然通りかかってエミヤくんに相談したところ、それはお金がもったいないからうちを使えばいいと言ってくれたんです。
それは確かに素人っぽい発言ね。
はい、あまり面識のないエミヤくんからの提案には驚いたのですが、確かにホテル暮らしなんてもったいないし、何より学生らしくありません。それなら学友であるエミヤくんのお家にご厄介になった方が
I
勉
get
強になる
employing.
と
She
思ったの
thinks
で
this
す。
place always being spotless is magic, and not that Shiro constantly works his ass off to keep the place clean when she and Sakura leave. Yes, that's what she's implying. Fujine groans. Tosaka's answer and mannerisms are textbook. There's no room for Fujine, teacher that she is, to object.
話はわかりました。けどそれでも問題はあるでしょ。遠坂さんと四郎は女の子と男の子なんだから、
You heard I'm
一
not
つ
the
屋
only
根の下で
one.
暮らすというのはどうかと思うわ。
And that my bedroom is much further from his than the other girl living here.
どうかとはどんなことでしょうか、先生。
だからね、遠坂さん美人だし、四郎もなんだかんだって男の子だし、間違いがあったら嫌だなって。
何も間違いはありません。私の部屋は別棟の隅、エミヤくんの部屋は蔵の近くにある和室です。距離にしてみれば20メートル以上離れているじゃないですか。
I think Tag is just trying to throw
ここ
Sakura
ま
a
で離れてい
bone.
れば何も問題はないと思いますが。
うん、別棟には鍵もかかるし、違う家みたいなものだけど。
Except for that connecting hallway.
でしょ。それとも藤村先生はエミヤくんを信用していないとでも。先ほど先生はエミヤくんの教育係だとおっしゃいました。
失礼ね。四郎はちゃんとしてるもん。絶対女の子を泣かせるような子じゃないんだから。
なら安心でしょ。私もエミヤくんを信用していますから。ここなら安心して下宿できると思ったのです。
Fujine starts losing steam. Check and mate, Tosaka. There are a few things Fujine could have responded to, but I'm sure Tosaka would have had no trouble talking her way out of them. Anyway, it looks like Tosaka has officially gained citizenship in this house. And then, breakfast ends. As expected, Fujine gave up after Tosaka talked her down. In the end, we agreed to keep our living arrangements a secret at school, while Fujine would supervise us at home. With that decided, Fujine got really excited knowing that there were going to be more people in the house, and she left for school in a good mood. After breakfast ended, I called out to Saber before I leave for school. Saber, calm as always, says,
学校ではリンの指示に従うように。危険が迫った時は私を必要としてください。それでマスターの異常は感じ取れますから。
She returns to her room. It's time to go to school.
それじゃあ行きましょうか。この辺りの道は不慣れなんだから、学校までの近道ぐらい教えてよね。
Rin Tosaka is in her school uniform, standing next to me. In the school uniform, which she is wearing. She put it on to go to school, which we
see.
must do because we're students. It's time for school, and Reen is standing in my hallway wearing a school uniform to go to school. My image of her as an honor student is fading, but she still makes me nervous when I see her in her uniform.
But she is an honor student. That's not an inaccurate statement, though, is the thing.
Yeah, but she still makes him nervous when he sees her in her uniform. Just going to school with the prettiest girl is nerve-wracking enough, but on top of that... Sakura's coming with me too. Sakura typically goes to school with Fujine because she's a member of the Kyudo Club. But this morning, Sakura stayed put in the living room, helped clean up after breakfast, and waited for me to go to school.
I wonder why.
何？さくらに鍵持たせてるの？シロってば。
持た
Yes?
せてるよ。さくらは悪いことなんてしないし、ずっと世話になってるからな。まあ、その分でいくと遠坂にはやれないが、別に構わないだろ。
それは構わないけど、どういう意味よそれ？
悪いことするだろ。それにお前、鍵なんかなくても困らないんじゃないのか？必要ないものを。
はあ、そうですか。ええ、シロの言う通り、これっぽっちもいらないわよ、そんなもの。
Osaka turns her head, huffing. Maybe I'm just getting used to her, but I'm starting to find these mannerisms of hers fascinating. Going to school with the prettiest girl is already nerve-wracking enough. Oh, and Sakura's here too. Fucking hell, Shiro. That's just cold. Oh.
どうしたさくら？戸締まりができたのなら行こう。今朝は遠坂もいるし、できるだけ早めに行きたいんだ。
そうですね。先輩がそう言うのなら、そうします。
Sakura's reply is pretty unenthusiastic, and she trails behind us. This isn't good. Sakura seemed down ever since Tosaka convinced Fujine to back off. I wonder why. Fujine might have consented, but I have a feeling Sakura isn't convinced.
ちゃんと話さないとダメかな。
Yeah, I should find a way to give these two time to get along and be friends. The sloped road is packed with students. It's 7:30, which is the busiest time for students getting to school. It's halfway between 7 and 8. Among the flock of students are Sakura and Reen. I stand out, and I can feel everyone's stares since I'm in pretty famous company. Maybe she forgot something. But Tosaka's been quiet the entire time.
どうした遠坂？なんか坂道あたりから様子が変だぞ、お前。
やっぱり変？今朝の私。
いや、別に変じゃないが、その反応が変だ。
先輩、その説明は矛盾してます。遠坂先輩が聞いているのはそういうことじゃないと思いますけど。
何を聞きたがってるって言うんだよ、遠坂。
ですから遠坂先輩は周りから見られているからどこか自分の姿がおかしいのではと思ってるんですよね。そうだけど、やっぱりさくらから見ても変？おかしいな。今朝は眠いながらもちゃんとブローしたし、制服だってシワ一つないと思うんだけど、やっぱり慣れない家で寝たもんだから目にクマでもできてるってわけ？
なんでそこで俺に怒鳴る？遠坂が寝られないのは俺のせいじゃないし、 仮にそのせいで遠坂の目にクマができていたとしても大したことじゃない。
何失礼なこと言ってるのよ。女ってのは生まれた時から自分の身だしなみを気にするものなの。もう今まで外見だけは完璧でいいよって繕ってきたのに、それも今日でおしまいってことかしらね。
だからなんで俺を見て怒鳴るんだよ遠坂は。なんで遠坂が変なのかは知らないが、間違いなくそれは俺のせいじゃない。八つ当たりはよそでやってくれ。
違いますよ遠坂先輩。先輩は今日も綺麗です。みんなが遠坂先輩を見ているのは私たちと一緒だからです。先輩。何？その程度のことでこんな扱い受けるわけ？侮れないわね。10年も通ってれば学校なんてマスターしたつもりでいたけど、謎はまだ残ってたわけか。
Did none of the three of them consider how weird it was going to look for Shiro to walk to school flanked by what are considered to be the two most attractive girls at the school? I mean... One.
I don't think a second one's coming, which is abnormal for me.
Tosaka ponders this seriously. Hold on, what kind of person ignores someone telling them they're as beautiful as always?
The kind that know they're pretty.
遠坂が誰かと投稿すれば騒ぎになるのは当然じゃないか。それが男子生徒ならなおさらだ。
ですね。けど遠坂先輩、そういうの気にしない人なんです。だから今まで浮いた話一つなかったんですよ。
Well, that and the time she broke that one guy's arm for following her home and then stole his position as student council
外見に
president.
騙されて泣きを見た犠牲者
No,
は
wait, that was
あの
Aoko.
頃一人だけってことだからな。
I whisper that part to Sakura as we walk a bit behind Tosaka, who still looks puzzled. Yeah, so Mahoyo, the main girl in Mahoyo, literally is like the student council president at school, and you find out like halfway through the game that she got that position after the previous student council president was crushing on her, followed her home, tried to ask her out at her front gate, then she broke his arm, and then stole his position as student council president. Aoko's the best and I love her.
I don't think that's how elections work.
Yes it is, shut up. No, what Rin did was publicly inform her, humiliate Shinji after he tried to ask her out once. That was a pretty good sign to everyone that they shouldn't even try with her, no matter how hot they think she is. Yeah. We walked through the school gates, stairs following us the whole way. I only need to endure the stairs a little longer, since we'll all separate once we get into the school building.
朝から頭痛いのがやってきちゃってまあ。
Osaka mutters to herself as we head toward campus. Following Tosaka's gaze, I see a familiar face pushing his way through the crowd of students.
Sakura!
Oh, hey, Shinji. Sakura shivers at the sight of him. Shinji acts like he doesn't see us. Instead, he makes a beeline for Sakura and says,
どうして道場に来ないんだお前僕に断りもなく休むなんて何様なわけ
Shinji raises his hand. Instinctively,
よし、シンジ。朝練ご苦労様だな。
Willow, it's anime. Everyone knows in anime that the role of student council president is always filled by the strongest person in the school. Ergo, beat up the old president, you become the new one. Yeah. Or sometimes it's fulfilled by the granddaughter of the chairman, who has supreme executive power and can just demand completely ridiculous things out of people. Like, if you win this scavenger hunt, then the vice president of the student council will be forced to kiss you. Lol, deal with it, Lulu. Ow. I'd grab his hand and greet him.
エミヤお前そうかまたエミヤのうちに行ってたのかさくら
Right, meaning she's the strongest person in the school because she has absolute unchecked authority. Exactly.
先輩のところにお手伝いに行っていました。けどそれは
後輩としての義務だってまったく泥臭いなお前は勝手に怪我したやつなんて構うことないだろういいからお前は僕の言う通りにしてればいいんだよ
Shinji huffs as he lowers his hand. I have no reason to hold on to his hand if he's not going to hit Sakura, so I let go.
しかしなんだねそこまでうちの邪魔して楽しいわけエミヤさくらは弓道部の部員なんだからさ無理やり朝練をサボらせるような真似しないでくれないかな
I don't have a response to that. Having Sakura come to my place to make breakfast does hold her up in the mornings.
そんなことありません。私は好きで先輩のお手伝いをしているだけです。兄さん、今のは言い過ぎなんじゃないですか？
Also, the fuck did Mr. Popular think he was going to accomplish by beating his sister in the middle of the crowded front gate of the school?
I mean, also that, yeah.
言い過ぎだってそれはお前の方だよさくらエミヤが一人住まいだからなんだって言うんだ別に一人でいいって言うんだからさ一人にしてやればいいんだよエミヤみたいなのはそっちの方が居心地がいいんだからさ
兄さん、やだ。
まあいい今日でエミヤの家に行くのはやめろよさくら僕が来いって言ったのに部活に来なかったんだそのくらいの罰は受ける覚悟があったんだろ
Sakura gasps and freezes. Shinji tries to grab her and pull her away, but the instant he does...
おはよう、マトウ君。黙って聞いていたんだけど、なかなか面白い話だったわ、今の。
え遠坂お前なんでさくらといるんだよ
別に意外でも何でもないでしょう。さくらさんはエミヤ君と知り合い、私はエミヤ君と知り合い。だから今朝は3人で一緒に登校してきたんだけど、気づかなかった？
エミヤと知り合い
ええ、きっとこれからも一緒に学校に来て一緒に下校するぐらいの知り合いだから、さくらさんとも付き合っていこうかなって思ってるわ。
エミヤとだって
Shinji glares at me. It might be my imagination, but I feel murderous intent from him that goes way beyond just animosity. And while I haven't really been getting along with Shinji lately, I don't remember doing anything that would make him resent me anywhere near this much.
そんなバカな冗談がきついな遠坂は君がエミヤなんかと付き合うわけないじゃないかああそうか君勘違いしてるんだろうそりゃ確かにちょっと前までエミヤとは友達だったけど今は違うんだもうエミヤと僕は無関係だからあまりメリットはないんだぜ
Except you leaving me alone.
そうなの？よかった。それを聞いて安心したわ。あなたのことなんてちっとも興味がなかったから。
Just for a second, just to check something. Could you like pop into the menu real quick and go into the save thing? I want to see if it's actually telling us what the current. Oh, it's not. Let's just drop a new save on top of the start of day one. I was gonna say, because I want to see what is actually. God damn it! I still need to be in that menu so I can read the. Is that so? Well, that's. Oh wait. Oh, it's not telling me the actual scene name there. Damn it! So, in the original, got the translated scene name here, and it's fucking phenomenal, which is Waku Waku Fujine Land Mato Brother and Sister.
Okay.
You know, Waku Waku Fujine Land. As you do. So I was wondering if it was gonna pop that in there, but it hasn't. That's sad. It makes me sad. Alright, anyway.
Savage. Just savage, Reen.
Yep, Marine just dismantled this man's, like, hopes and dreams. Again.
I love chat. Willow wasn't impressed.
I feel bad for Shinji. Don't. Never feel bad for Shinji. If I were in his shoes, Tosaka's words would be traumatic enough. I probably wouldn't recover for a good while.
お前
それとマトウ君、さっきの話だけど、弓道部の朝練は自主参加のはずよ。欠席の許可が必要だなんて話は聞いてないわ。そんな規則、私はもちろん綾子や藤村先生も聞いてないでしょうね。
うるさいな。兄貴が妹に何をしようが勝手だろう。いちいち人の家の事情に首を突っ込むな。
ええ、それは同感ね。だからあなたもエミヤ君の家のことをあれこれ言うのは筋違いじゃない？まったく、こんな朝から校庭で騒がしいわよ、マトウ君。
Shinji retreats a step, still glaring at Sakura and me in the process.
わかった。今朝の件は許してやる。けどさくら、次はないからな。今度何かあったら、その時は自分の立場ってやつをよく思い知らせてやる。
Shinji heads toward the school building after making his big pronouncement.
The way you just said with style has my brain in Quest for Camelot, and I know that's what you were doing, and I would just like to give you the satisfaction
Style.
of knowing it worked. That's one of those movies you and I reference to each other on a regular basis that most people forget exist.
He's turned tail and run after Tosaka gave him such a dressing down. It's such a good musical, though.
Although I feel the same way about the Sword in the Stone Disney movie. Although I stand by Mad Madam Mim being one of my favorite Disney villains.
Sword in the Stone was fine, but Black Cauldron's the one that really just gets, like, no love.
We didn't particularly care for Black Cauldron.
That's my point. It doesn't get any love.
ごめんなさい先輩。兄さんがその失礼なことを言ってしまって。
So to answer what's being talked about in chat with regard to Shinji, bit of genuine psychology here. a lot of the time people who are, and I'm trying to choose my words here carefully, but the reality is that statistics do show that people who have more abusive or toxic traits tend to sympathize with people with toxic or abusive traits. So, in all likelihood, a lot of the people that are, you know, trying to say, well, Shinji's the victim here. I don't get why, you know, people are so mad. That's probably more telling about them, in honesty.
Sakura's apologizing not just to me, but to Tosaka as well.
朝からいい運動になったわ。頭のギアがスパッと上がったし、ようやく調子が出てきたもの。口喧嘩好きなのよね、私。
Unrelated to, like, basically anything else, apart from it involving this game, I was just kind of stepping past the YouTube front page last night, and probably because of my search history, it was like, hey, we thought you should probably know that somebody is streaming Stay Night right now. To, like, a huge audience. Because the Fuamoko twins of a Hololive are currently playing through it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. But I stopped in just briefly to see where they were at, and they were at the church talking with Kirei.
Which means, in theory, we
We're ahead
started
of-
streaming before they did, too.
Well, yes, they were on session 2. But yeah, we're as far as I know, we're still ahead of them.
So what I'm hearing is the two of us set a trend.
Yes, I'm fully taking responsibility for the Fuamokos playing Stay Night right now. Like, there's no other explanation.
Honestly, it just means they're secretly, like, stealth subscribers on alt accounts, and they were like, this seems like a good idea. Because this is two people playing this game together. We're two people who can play a game together.
If so, hi Fuawa, hi Mokoko.
Hi, people I've never heard of, because I don't watch that side of YouTube.
See, here's the secret. Never watch any video that's even tangentially related, or you'll never stop getting recommended it. Ever.
Quite honestly, I'm kind of surprised I haven't had that stuff kind of fall into my algorithm, considering how eerily similar your algorithm and mine are. Like, there's a lot of overlap between, like, Inu will be talking about something that he stumbled across on YouTube, and then a couple days later, the same video he was talking about shows up in my suggested video feed, and I'm like, huh.
Or like one of us will just make a really obscure reference to a video that like we've never talked about
with each
ever
other
before, and the other will just clap back with something that makes absolute sense. Like, oh, well, I see you also know insert individual here.
Oh, you also watch Sorted Food. Or, oh, yeah, I've seen that Fire Emblem video. Like,
Sometimes people just want to know about how people die when they're killed. It's a thought that we've all had at some point in our lives. Yeah, I thought it was really funny because I saw it and
そ
I
れ
went,
に
wow,
謝るのは私の方だし
trendsetters. Let's go.
ちょっとやりすぎだったわよね今のあいつだって立場があるんだしほらみんなの前でああいうのってしちゃダメだって言うじゃないマトウ君が落ち込んでたら後でフォローしてあげてこれに懲りずにまた突っかかってきてもいいって兄さんが懲りていなければまたお相手をしてあげてください先輩
Oh, that's cute. You think Shinji can learn. Relieved, Sakura smiles cheerfully. Tasaka seems suddenly bashful and looks away.
先輩も できれば怒らないであげてください。兄さん、先輩しか友達いないから。
That's sad.
Sakura, he literally just said we weren't friends. Did you miss that bit?
怒るなっていうのは無理だけど、シンジはああいうやつだってのは知り合った時から知ってる。
He still has a reputation to think about. Reen, he was seconds away from open palm slapping his sister in front of the entire student body. And she doesn't think at all.
ま、なんかの拍子でまた付き合いが深くなるのは目に見えてるしさ。気長にやっていくよ、あいつとは。
よろしくお願いします、先輩。
Sakura quickly bows. Yeah, the only thing I get really mad at Shinji about is the way he treats his sister like crap.
But treating your siblings like crap is part of how you show them that you care.
それじゃあ先輩、今日も一日頑張りましょうね。
But there is a difference between treating your sibling like crap and being actually genuinely abusive towards your sibling.
Sakura heads to the first year floor.
It's like, perfect example. Sitting next to your right-handed brother on his right at a restaurant when you're left-handed so you can engage in elbow war assault in her.
You know, this is a thing that, like, I feel we don't really have in American schools, right? Is, at least not as much, is these, like, floors for the different, like, levels, right? Like, our middle school kind of had that. Like, but that was because it was, like, a new school, so, like, the highest grade just always had the top floor.
Well,
At least while we were still there.
From the perspective of someone who works in our local school systems, you're starting to see more of that. The thing is that a lot of schools don't have a crazy number of floors, but
Well, you only need 4 of them for a high school.
that's true. But
Just keep all the freshmen on the first floor, sophomores and second, juniors and seniors.
but think about our high school. Our high school was only 2 floors.
Yeah, we should have had 2 more floors.
It's meant to be the point. Especially because then what would you do with the me's of the world who were in junior and senior level classes as a sophomore?
Well, you're still on the second floor with the rest of the sophomores. That's how that works.
That wouldn't make sense for the teachers.
Sounds like we would just need more teachers. We could hire more people, have more teachers.
In what universe is there that much... Hey, wait a second. Is that the thing?
The thing.
Next to the... Is that a saber?
Oh yeah, it's MHX up there.
Sorry, Willow got distracted.
Willow has just noticed I have an MHX figure on a shelf in the room.
Well, it's that's the one Bio sent me today.
Yes. Yes, it is. That said, I also have you can't see it past the other TV, but I do have a small saber Artoria that Elle made several years ago, actually. It's over there. And then I've got another saber face that's not an actual Artoria in Nendroid form over on top of the record player over there.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted because she's literally in my peripheral every time I'm looking at you on the couch. I was like, wait a second.
Hey, she's just next to my TARDIS.
Yes, next to your TARDIS and below the Mimikyu and the Wizard Claptrap.
Yes.
Those I got you.
I thought Elle and Sarge got me the Mimikyu.
Well, the thing is, over the years, we've all collectively gotten you so much Mimikyu stuff that it's possible that might be one of the Mimikyu Sergeant L got you, but I feel like that one was me.
I've got like 5 different Mimikyus around the place. They definitely got me the Sylveon one.
Yes.
Gil got me one that's like in my bedroom, and And then there's a pin that's on the shelf next to MHX there. There's a Mimikyu pin up there. Got a glass in the kitchen.
Well, it's because you decided to do nothing but breed Mimikyu in
And I've
the
got a-
game in which Mimikyu was.
We got another Mimikyu on the shelf over there, next to my USB hub.
Yeah, one of the Mimikyu plushies you have came from me. So, I do love that no one in chat is commenting on the fact that I got super distracted. But yeah, generally speaking though, to my original point before I got distracted, schools do tend to separate out hallways for specific subject areas or grade level. So the elementary school I used to work in had a pre-KK hallway, a first, second hallway, a 3, 4, 5 hallway, and a 6, 7, 8 hallway. And even our high school, they didn't separate it by grade level, but they did separate the hallways by subject area.
You're playing DBD. Dragon Ball Daima. Gotcha.
Oh, my tangent was so long. The screen went to sleep.
This Switch was like, oh, I guess I don't need to be. Tosaka and I climbed the stairs to the second year floor.
Hello.
Hello! Very eloquent, he say. And run right into the student council president.
なぜに遠坂と一緒にいるのか、エミヤシロ。
Why are you fraternizing with the enemy, Shiro?
おはよう竜道くん。朝からハウアとはご挨拶ね。
Ah,
I like Kosaka.
Rin is the best character.
それから嫌な予感がしたがまさか案
Really?
件さ
Because
せた
I
の
thought you said child was
いいからこっちに来いエミヤ。
Eh,
大阪の近く
she
にいたら
is,
毒が移る。
but so's
毒が
Rin. But also Shiro. Like, there's a lot of best characters in this.
See, I don't particularly like Shiro. He irks me.
Give him time. He grows on you. Like, by the time we get to the full realization of Shiro's 3 different character arcs, he's honestly one of the best written characters in all of anime. Like, it's really quite impressive.
Dead by Daylight, by the way.
No, I prefer Dragon Ball Daima, thank you. Issei tugs on my arm. Hard. Tosaka looks at Issei and me without a word, then walks toward class 2A as if nothing happened.
行くがいい。誰も止めはしないからな。
Yeah, it takes a while for what and how Shiro is as a person to really set in for a true story, yeah. Also, yeah, pretty much everyone says that about Shiro at this point, yeah. At this point, Shiro is, like, kind of a whiny, unlikable bitch. But it gets better. It gets a lot better. Tosaka silently passes by.
It's not the whiny I don't like. It's the misogyny, the girls can't handle themselves that I don't like.
Yeah, that's kind of just fate route, Shiro. He gets over that. But then...
シロ、昼休みに屋上。
Oh, I think we just got a date. She whispers that to me so Issei won't hear. It's lunchtime. After seeing Tosaka and me in the morning, Issei hasn't been speaking to me. He's been treating me like a traitor.
さっきのは悪乗りしすぎたか。
I guess I went too far. Walking next to a girl.
Yeah, walking next to Tosaka specifically was the problem. I feel just a bit of regret. Issei interrogated me about why I was with Tosaka this morning, and my response was...
休みの間に親密になったんだ。
That was not a great idea.
I was about to say, I bet that went over real well.
I expected Issei's next set of questions to be about how and why we got close, but before I could explain further, Issei staggered away.
まあちょうどいいか。しばらくは一人でいろいろやらなくちゃいけないからな。
Having fewer people involved will make things easier. Anyway, first thing I need to do is save the game. Also, it's lunchtime, so we have a choice here of go hang out with Tosaka and do that thing that she asked us to do, or ditch her and go talk to Sakura instead.
Obviously, we're going to go hang out with Tosaka.
Yeah, I'm for this. Fun story. Doing the thing that Rin asked us to do gets us a Rin point. Ignoring her to go hang out with Sakura loses us a Rin point. I promised to meet Tosaka. It may have been her dictating to me, but she probably has something to talk about. I buy lunch and head to the rooftop. It wasn't that Shiro was walking with a girl, it's that Shiro was walking with that one person in the school that Issei cannot stand on a fundamental level, yeah. The rooftop is typically packed with other students when it's warmer, but it's deserted in the winter chill. Although winter in Fuyuki is comparatively warmer, the rooftop gets unbearably cold. So the only people exposed to the cold wind are myself, and...
遅い。何のんびりしてるのよ、シロ。
I had to buy my bread! Tosaka, shivering in the shadows.
遅れたのは悪かったと思ってる。思ってるんで差し入れを持ってきたんだが、その様子じゃいらないか。
I show her the warm canned coffee I brought and put it back in my pocket.
あんた、朴突な顔して結構気が利くのね。
Coffee,
ただの
Gib.
気まぐれだよ。ほら、もうちょっとそっち行けよ。ここだと風が当たるし、人目につくだろ。
I hand her the canned coffee as I head towards the back where I won't be seen. We won't be as conspicuous here, and there's no way anyone from the 4th floor would see us.
ありがとう。次は紅茶にしてね。私、インスタントならミルクティーだから。それ以外はありがたみがランクダウンするから注意するべし。
はいよ。次まで覚えていたらな。それよりなんだよ。こんなところに呼び出して。人気がない場所を選ぶあたり、そっちの話だと思うけど。
当然でしょ。私とシロの間で他にどっちの話があるっていうのよ。
Incidentally, it's kind of weird that he's only, like, weirdly
それはそうだな。
misogynistic about Saber. Like, he doesn't seem to be overly concerned about Rin doing magical war stuff. He's literally just saying, he's like, I can't let Saber fight things. She's a girl.
I mean,
Tosaka has a magic shotgun, though, so she's fine.
but the thing is, he has gotten weirdly protective of Rin a time or two.
Come on, Shiro, at least buy Rin her favorite drink as an apology. Nondescript hot lemon drink.
何よ。ずいぶんクールじゃない、あなた。
まあ寒いからな。できるだけ手短に済ませたい。遠坂はそうでもないのか。
そんなわけないでしょ。私だってさっさと要件だけ済ませるつもりに決まってるじゃない。
Yep, I figured. I was just stating the obvious, so she really doesn't need to yell at me like that. Single teardrop.
それじゃあ担当 淑乳に聞くけどシロ、あなた放課後はどうするつもり？
放課後？あ、いや、別にこれといって予定はないよ。生徒会の手伝い事があったら手伝うし、なかったらバイトに出るし。
I can just hear her brain going, "You're really missing the point of being in a death war."
なんだよ、その露骨に呆れた顔は。言いたい。
まったく、あなたがどうなろうと私は構わないんだけど、まあ一つだけ忠告してあげるか。今
またそれか。魔術師として未熟だっていうのはもう耳にタコだ。
Don't
気
bully
にして
me.
るんだからあまりいじめないでくれ。
I think it mostly comes down to Artoria explicitly being part of this because of Shiro, whereas Rin was gung
た
ho
だシ
about
ロ
the
が
murder, death,
学
kill
校の結
before
果
it
に気づ
ever
いてないようだ
began.
から未熟だって言ってるの。
Shiro, like, for some reason feels like he has duty of care because he brought Saber into the war.
I mean, he didn't do it on purpose.
Doesn't change the fact. What? A bounded field at the school.
待て、学校の結界ってそれはまさか。
まさかも何も他のマスターが張った結界だってば。かなり広範囲に仕組まれた結界でね。発動すれば学校の敷地をほぼ包み込む。種別は結界内にいる人間から血肉を奪うタイプ。まだ準備段階のようだけど、それでもみんなに元気がないって気づかなかった？
Now that she mentions it, I felt a little strange 2 days ago, but is that why? That means
つまり学校にマスターがい
well,
る。
there's at least 2 masters at school, because there's you and Reen, but this means there's at least a third, yes.
確実に敵が潜んでいるってわけ。わかったエミヤ君。そのあたり覚悟しておかないと死ぬわよあなた。
My relaxed demeanor fades and I tense up.
それでそのマスターが誰かは分かっているのか、遠坂は。
いいえ、当たりはついてるけどまだ確証が取れてない。まあうちの学校にはもう一人魔術師がいるってことは知ってたけど、魔術師イコールマスターってわけじゃないから。
Case in point.
あなたみたいな素人がマスターになる場合もあるんだし、断定はできないわ。
俺は素人じゃない。ちゃんとした魔術師だ。って待った遠坂、魔術師ならもう一人いるってうちの学校にか。
そうよ。けどそいつからマスターとしての気配は感じないのよね。真っ先に調べに行ったけど、レイジもなければサーバントの気配もなかった。
Oh, well, that's a relief.
よっぽどうまく気配を隠しているなら別だけど、まずそいつはマスターじゃないわ。だからこの学園に潜んでいるマスターはシロみたいに半端に魔術を知っている人間だと思う。ここのところさ、微量だけど私たち以外の魔力を後者に感じるのよ。それが敵マスターの気配ってわけなんだけど。
But it's not enough to track.
魔術師ではないマスターか。遠坂が断定するからには相当な確信があるんだろう。それは信じるけど、そうか、うちの学校そんなに魔術師がいたのか。
そんなにって私とその子だけだって。魔術師ってのは家柄を大事にするでしょ。こんな狭い地域に2つの家系が根を張った場合、どうしても好意になるものなのよ。
そうなのか。けど俺は遠坂の家のことを知らなかったけどな。
What if they just got an assassin, Reen? You normally wouldn't be able to
エミヤ
sense
君
an
ちは特
assassin.
別。エミヤ君のお父さん、教会から離反した一匹狼だったんでしょうね。たまたまこの町が気に入って根を下ろしたんだろうけど、 冬季の町はうちの管轄だからさ。
Hi, you
私
quite
たちにバ
literally
レた
live
ら
in
も
my
らうも
house.
のもらうことになるし、それが嫌で隠れてたんじゃないかな。
It's a good thing we did know about your dad, or we'd own your house.
なんだよ、そのもらうものもらうって不穏な発言は。
気になる？それは将来シロが一人前になったら取り立てに行くから期待してて。
Does that mean you're going to train me to not be a shit mage?
本当にね、何が学校一の優等生だ、この詐欺師。
あら、いけない？外見を飾るのだって魔術師としての義務でしょ。ほら、私は遠坂家の跡取りだし、火の打ちどころのない優等生じゃないと天国の父さんに顔を合わせられないのよ。
父さんって父さんか。
Wait, you have a dad?
私が子供の頃死んじゃった。ま、
He lived
十
a
分長
long
生きし
and
たから
fulfilling
援助は
life.
全うしたんだし、
He was like in his
別に悲しんだり
40s.
はしてないけど。
He was in his 40s and died in a Grail War. What do you mean he lived a long and fulfilling life? Osaka smiles as if saying that's just how it goes when you have a mage for a dad. But
それは嘘だ。人が死んだら悲しいだろ。それが肉親ならなおさらだ。魔術師だから仕方がないなんて言葉でごまかせるものじゃない。
Sure it is.
まあ、そうね。エミヤ君の意見は反論できないぐらい正しいわ。
as she says that, Tosaka opens up the canned coffee she'd been using as a hand warmer until now. She drinks her coffee in small sips. I'd expected her to take a big gulp, honestly, but she's pretty feminine when it comes to things like this.
話を戻すけど、ともかく冬季の町に魔術師は2人しかいないの。他のマスターは外からやってきた連中か、魔術をかじった程度でマスターに選ばれたっていう変わり種でしょうね。
Look, Reed, they don't even have to know any magecraft. The one master in the last war was literally just a serial killer. Is that so? So according to Tosaka, I'm quite the irregularity.
それは分かった。けどさ、半端に魔術をかじっただけのマスターならこんな結界は張れないんじゃないのか。
No, but their servant might be able to.
マスターが貼ったんじゃなくてサーバントが貼ったのかもね。サーバントは自分のマスターを選べないもの。シローみたいなマスターに当たってしまった場合、サーバント自身がいろいろ策を練るしか勝機はないでしょ。
だろうな。気に障るけど反論しようがないんでうなずいとくよ。
はい、素直で結構。で、結界の話に戻すけど、この結界はすごく高度よ。
Oh, that's good. I thought it was a stupid bounded field. But no, it's not stupid.
It's
It's
advanced.
ほとんど魔法の領域だし、こんなの張れる魔術師だったらまず自分の魔力を隠しきれない。だから間違いなくこの結界はサーバントの仕業だと思う。
Okay, well, we've seen exactly two servants at this
サ
school,
ーバントの
Archer and
仕業
Lancer, so it must be Lancer.
ならマスター自身はそう物騒なやつじゃないのかな。
まさか魔術師にしろ一般人にしろ、そいつはルールが分かってないやつよ。マスターを見つければまずまっすぐに殺しに来るタイプの人間ね。
ルールがわからないって聖杯戦争のルールをか。
違う、人間としてのルール。 こんな結界を作らせる時点でそいつは自分ってものが分かってない。いいシロ、この結界はね、発動したら最後結界内の人間を一人残らず溶解して吸収する代物よ。私たちは生き物の胃の中にいるようなものなの。魔力で自分自身を守っている私たちには効果はないだろうけど、魔力を持たない人間ならわけもわからないうちに衰弱死しかねない。
You know, it occurs to me,
一般
Rin
人を巻き込む
sort of...
どころの話じゃないわ。
I don't know if this was Reen just making a mistake or if it's a translation issue. Because it's potentially true if it's a translation issue. So Reen said that there's only 2 mages in Fuyuki, right? And that the other one goes to the school and she knows they're not a master, right? But, and that's true if she's like, if she means mage families, right?
I assume that she meant mage family.
But she knows factually about at least 3.5 mages now. Shiro being the half.
Student council man, who I assume is one of them. Herself, obviously. Shiro, and she knows about Child being in the area.
No, that's true. If we're counting her as well, 5 technically, because
But she does also technically know Child visiting from foreign country.
let me refresh your memory. She also said that Kotomine was her mentor. That after her dad died, she learned from him. He was also her father's disciple. Ergo, Kotomine also a mage.
She might be considering him an extension of her own family, though, because of the mentorship.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, what she said only makes sense if she's talking about mage families based in Fuyuki specifically. Right? Because, like, otherwise, if she's just talking about mages that she knew about in Fuyuki, there's at least 3. Yeah, like, Kotomina's been here since her dad died.
この結界が起動したら学校中の人間は皆殺しにされるのよ。わかる？こういうふざけた結界を準備させるやつがこの学校にいるマスターなの。
My vision blurs momentarily. I take a deep breath so I can make sure I fully comprehend what Tosaka is trying to say. But it stops there. I attempt to imagine the worst possible outcome, even if my imaginings may fall short, and I keep that image down deep within my heart and accept the position I've been placed in.
話は分かった。それで遠坂、その結界とやらは壊せないのか？
She did that already, actually. She tried. It didn't work.
試したけど無理だった。結界の起点は全部探したんだけど、それを消去できないのよ。私にできるのは一時的に起点を弱めて結界。
じゃあ遠坂がいる限り結界は張られない？
そう願いたいけど、それも都合のいい願いでしょうね。もう結界は張られていて、発動のための魔力は少しずつ溜まってきている。アーチャーの見立てだと、あと8日程度で準備が整うとか。
Alright, so we have an 8-day time limit to find the master of this servant before the whole school gets turned into goo.
どちらかがその気になれば、この学校は地獄になる。
じゃあそれまでに。
Also, everyone in this field will slowly weaken and die without knowing is the same as everyone in the barrier will instantly begin turning into goo and be digested as soon as it turns on. Yes. Yeah. It just gooifies people. It's great.
この学校に潜んでいるマスターを倒すしかない。
Okay. How
け
are
ど
we going to
探
find
すのは
them?
難しいでしょうね。この結界を張られた時点でそいつの勝ちみたいなものだもの。あとは黙ってても結界は発動するんだから、その時まで表には出てこない。
表に出てくるその時だけってことか。
Okay, but how are you going to induce that?
ご名答。まあそういうわけだから今はおとなしくしてなさい。その時になったら家でも戦うことになるんだし、自分から探し回って敵に知られるのもバカらしいでしょ。
A metallic sound of the school's bell rings out across the frozen rooftop. Lunchtime is over.
話はそれだけ。私は寄るところがあるから家には一人で帰って。寄り道は控えなさいよ。
Take the first detour available. Understood. Tosaka leaves with a casual bye. This doesn't feel right to me. Learning that masters may attack other masters is enough to make me anxious, but...
学校に結界だと。
But now there's a possibility that innocent people might get dragged into this too? That's not what masters do. That's just what a mass murderer does.
Case in point, mass murder is kind of what masters do.
Jump into the nearest van marked definitely not an enemy master at the earliest possibility. Got it.
Like, from what I understand about the Grail Wars, it sounds like mass murder's kind of par the course of a Grail War.
Mages are not nice people in general. Alright, like... Reen is kind of, like, not a terrible person. Shiro is generally not a terrible person. Ilya is generally not a terrible person.
Excuse you?
I know, it sounds crazy at this point, but it's true.
She kept his head alive as a trophy.
She had a rough childhood, okay?
No, you don't get to they had a rough childhood justify all of that bullshit. No.
By comparison to most mages, she's not out here, like, turning entire populations of towns into thralls in order to further her own magical research.
That doesn't make her a good person. It makes her less bad than other people.
But it makes her comparatively a good person to other mages, which was my point. Like, as far as mages go, Ilya is on the relatively not a bad person spectrum for mages, which sounds crazy, but that gives you an idea of how f***ed up mages are in general. Like, they're not nice people as a general rule. Yeah. Ilya has a problem with specifically Shiro. She's found with pretty much everyone else, which is amazing by mage standards. Yep, exactly.
I mean, she seems to have an issue with Tosaka, because her statement was, more or less, "Hi, Tosaka, I'm killing you next time."
Yeah, that's not so much an issue with Reen as it is a familial dispute that goes back generations between the Ainsburns and the Tosakas.
Changes nothing. It's still a casual, "See you next time, I'm gonna kill you."
Reen is also a master, which is also fair, yes. So I need to find whoever set this bounded field up before it's activated. Find them. And destroy them utterly.
喜べエミヤシロ。君の願いは。
Yorokobe Shonen! I shake my head, trying to ignore the words that pop right into my mind. Damn you, Kirei! I never wished for this. Wishing for bad guys to show up so I can defeat them is not what I do.
It seems to be what you do to me, Shiro.
Yeah, it is. That's what Shiro does. The end of day homeroom ends, and students start to file out of the classroom. You know, we didn't have end of day homerooms either. We had homeroom, which was like just your first class in the morning.
Well, ironically, again, the elementary school I worked at up until this school year, did actually have all of the kids go back to their, all of the students that rotated classes anyway, go back to their homeroom at dismissal.
Fair elementary school, though. This is a high school.
Well, I'm just saying that might actually be becoming a thing. I would have to check with my colleagues at the high schools, but I think it might actually be becoming a trend, at least in our area.
Normally, I would go to the student council room, but I decided to go home since Tosaka told me to. Bye, Issei. Going home early today. Tosaka told me to. The gate is still locked.
あ、そうか。こんなに早く帰ってきたのなんて久しぶりだ。
I usually help out doing odd jobs or go to a part-time job, so it's rare for me to come straight home from school. I usually find the gate unlocked and Sakura preparing dinner inside. I've gotten so used to that after a year, I've forgotten how important coming home early can be. Even the simple act of opening a locked gate makes me realize how thankful I should be for Sakura coming here.
Tadaima!
Seiba! I step into the hallway as I call out. My hallway full of dressers. The moment I enter the living room, I see the blonde girl. The hot blonde European who's definitely my girlfriend, please believe me.
I'm still really angry that his front door, as has been described to us, opens into a long hallway full of dressers.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I don't know how fucking bored Artoria must be at this point. She's just been, like, watching TV all day or something.
帰ったのですね、マスター。
For a split second, as I see Saber, I feel like I've been hurled into a dream or some sort of fantasy.
シロ、今帰ってきたのでは
Well,
な
I
いの
mean,
ですか？
there's fucking magic, so I think this is technically a high fantasy setting, but... She calls my name in a quiet voice. I finally come back to realty.
セイバーだよな。悪い。いきなりなんで驚いた。
Oh, you think that's bad? You should see her assassin form. By the way, MHX is an assassin, in case that wasn't clear. You know, the ones that are supposed to sneak up on you and kill you without you knowing they're there.
Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
私はマスターの指示に従ってここに待機していたのですが、間違っていましたか？
What are you Googling?
I'm not.
No, the person in chat.
ああ、いや、こっちの勘違いだから気にしないでくれ。それより体の方はいいのか、セイバー。頻繁に眠るって言ってたけど、今はその。
起きていても支障はありません。
Yeah, no, I'm aware you're not Googling anything he knew. At least as of last I checked, you didn't have the ability to Google with your brain while staring at your TV.
Sorry, what? I just had to
可
close
能な
the
限り
browser
戦
window.
闘時以外は眠っていた方がいいのですが、それでは勘が鈍りますから。
But you know, if you just like swipe down in the air, you get a menu, right?
I would love that to be true, but we do not live in Sword Art Online.
Maybe you don't.
そっか。言われてみればその通りだ。人間、一日中寝てたら頭が痛くなるし、 セイバーだって眠くて眠ってるわけじゃないんだし。
そうですね。眠りを必要とする疲れはありません。ですがシロ、あなたは眠りすぎると頭を痛くするのですか？
痛くなるだろう、そりゃ。普通一日の半分も寝てたら体の調子を悪くするって。俺の場合は頭が痛くなって目が覚めるから半
12
日も眠ってら
hours
れ
is
ないけ
a
どさ。
long time to sleep,
I
Shiro.
mean, I was out for like. I was out for over a day one time. I still don't know what it was, but I got like. It wasn't like I was physically ill or anything, but I was sick in some capacity because like I went to bed and then I woke up like 36 hours later and the Pope was dead. It was literally when JP2 died. Yeah, it was like midday, a day late, like a day and a half later. And then first thing I saw was the white smoke on TV. I'm like, oh, the Pope died?
Has Pope Benedict passed away yet? I know he resigned from being Pope.
No, I think he's still around. Oh, maybe not. No, he was. He resigned in February of 2013, but then he died in 2022.
Oh,
Yeah, he dead now.
rest in peace, Pope yeah,
Yeah,
Pope Benedict
Pope-
II, right? Third? Fourth? What number was he?
16.
Stupid.
He was Benedict the 16th.
Good Catholic girl right here.
I may have offed the Pope in some form of sleep trance. That's possible. I can't deny those allegations because I was asleep.
不思議な話ですね。私はそのようなことはありませんでした。今も昔も眠ろうと思えばいくらでも眠れますし。
Although, if you have the ability to try and off people in your sleep, does that mean you're the one that tried to kill me as a child?
Could be.
Because you slept through my health crisis.
I can't deny that. I was asleep.
それはなんか生き物として間違って
You
ると思う。
decided you'd failed at killing your sister. It's time
一
to
日中寝
kill
てるなんて
me.
もったいない。眠気が取れたら起きて遊んでいた
You
方が楽しい
went
だろ。
to extremes.
そうですね。確かにその方が無駄はありません。
だろ？今は俺のせいでそうなっちまったけど、俺から縁が切れたら普通の生活サイクルに戻れよ。俺が言えることじゃないけどさ、これが癖になって一日中寝てたらぐうたらなやつだなんて思われるから。
You know, there are people who were born after JP2's death that are now 19 years old.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep having to remind myself on a regular basis. One of my first man, I've gotten old moments working in a school was in 2016 when I took my first position with the organization I work for. And we'd been talking about like life-defining moments with kids, and we'd been talking about like, well, if parents remarried or blah blah blah, and I went, or where you were on 9/11, and thankfully the student that was with us at the time had repeated a grade a couple times, so they were at least alive when 9/11 happened. But they're like, Miss Sarah, I was like 6 months old. I'm like, oh no, you're an 8th grader.
Well, I mean, think about it this way, right? How long ago does the theatrical release of Hercules feel to you?
Not that long ago, but also I know I got a VHS copy of it at my birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, so it had to have been like late 90s, early 2000s.
Because the theatrical release for Disney's Hercules
Uh-huh.
was 27 years ago.
Oof. Yeah, mentally in my brain I was going, I think I got that as a gift for my 6th or my 7th birthday.
Yeah. Released in theaters on June 13th, 1997.
Yeah, I was 4.
I mean, Aladdin came out before you were born. And I believe The Lion King was the year you were born.
I thought Lion King was 1991.
No, I thought it was 90. I think it's 93. 94. Sorry.
Okay.
It was the year after.
それはすでに手遅れかもしれません。私は皆にそう思われていたかもしれない。
Well, I mean, in some of your forms, you do just like to sit around and eat sweets and not actually do things, so... She thinks about it and furrows her brow. I thought this was just idle chit-chat, but Saber doesn't really seem to get jokes. Bio, I need to ask a question. Are you only doing Grand Order variants on Saber in the things for Willow? Because if not... If that's all you're doing, I may have to pull an image for her. Just thinking of Saber sitting around and eating food.
That is an important question.
That was my intention. Awesome. I need to show you something.
Okay.
Fine, work with me here. No, not... Fucking hell. Not sirloin. What?
Why?
I don't know. But it's Saber Lion. She also got a real kind of reputation for liking burgers. You know, as you do.
This fandom worries me.
Oh.
like Like, make no mistake, I'm a member of some very toxic fandoms. Like, I have been defending elements of Veilguard vehemently on the internet.
Oh, that's inexcusable.
There's things about the game I don't like, but like the fact that they made all the romance boring. But
Well, you can't romance a bear? 0 out of 10, worst game.
no, you can't romance a bear. Technically, you can romance a lich.
That's not a bear.
But romancing the lich also requires romancing the old man, and that just feels wrong to me. The Grey Warden's fun to romance because you then get a like baby griffin child that you then get to be in charge of mostly. But they made the assassin, they made the Antivan Crow boring.
Sounds about right.
And that breaks my heart because Zephyrin was my favorite romance in Origins.
I don't know. I quite liked Liliana myself, but
Alistair was nice but super vanilla, but Zephyrin was my favorite. And I was so happy because I was like, oh yes, I get to romance another Antivan Crow, and it just all the romances are so dull.
Bio makes a good point. Saber Lion was from a crossover joke anime, so it didn't have to make any sense. Also, I thought this was just idle chit-chat, but Saber doesn't really seem to get jokes. No, she's not very, like... No, not in this. Not in serious mode. We move to the living room. Saber looks like she wants to know what happened today. So I decide to tell her about the bounded field at school Tosaka warned me about. Saber subsequently tells me I'm not allowed to go to school anymore.
I mean, to be fair, she tried to tell him that yesterday, too.
Yes, but yesterday there wasn't clear and present danger at
学
school.
校に
Now
集ま
there
る
is.
人間を生贄にするつもりなのですね。そのマスターは。
率直に言えばそういうことだろう。遠坂はまだまだ時間がかかるとは言っていたけど。
同感です。それほど大規模な結界の完成には時間がかかる。学校の校舎というものは封鎖しやすい建物ですから、おそらく神殿に見立てた祭壇なのでしょう。それだけの規模な結界を完璧に起動させるには、早くて10日は必要です。
10日。俺が異常を感じたのが2日前の土曜日だから、まだ8日は猶予があるってことか。遠坂の見込みと同じだな。
はい。その結界が生贄を集めるものであれ、守りを固めるものであれ、完成させては厄介です。それまでに結界を張ったマスターを見つけ出せれば良いのですが。
Alright, there's only one solution to this. We have to get you into the school so that you can help us search. Which means we have to put you in a yellow raincoat so no one will think you're out of place at the school.
That really better not be the solution here.
そうだな。遠坂は難しいって言ってたけど、学校に潜んでいる以上は特定しやすいはずだ。なんとか見つけ出して結界を止めさせよう。
The chances of them being someone from school are pretty high considering where they set up their bounded field. A student or a teacher. Starting tomorrow, I'll search the school as thoroughly as I can during lunch and try to find anyone suspicious.
あとは、そうか。そいつがどんなサーバントを連れているかっていう問題か。
At least Artori and Shiro are on the same page of turning people into soup is bad, so we should probably do something about that. Yeah. Then again, we'll only learn that once we've found them. The only other thing I can do right now is think about the servants we've encountered already. Saber's awake, so now's my chance to ask her about them. Okay then. Choice point. Time to make a save. And then decide if you want to know about Archer, Lancer, or Basaka.
I mean, there's an obvious one to talk about. Circer, please.
Oh, I thought it would be Archer. We know fuck all about him.
Yes, which means Artoria also presumably knows fuck all about him. So
Hold on. The names of these. Ask about Lancer. Question survivor. Ask about Archer. Question unknown. Ask about Berserker. Question Vela Gulf. What the fuck does that mean? Well, whatever. Anyway, that giant.
yeah, also Bio's right. Okay, Shiro, what the hell would Artoria know about Archer when she saw him for literal seconds?
Well, Shiro, I can tell you exactly what I've learned about Archer.
He's Reen's servant.
He's an archer. He wears red. He wields swords.
He's been summoned by
He's been
Reen.
summoned by Reen. He's currently nursing a giant gaping chest wound. End of information we know about Archer.
And that's it.
That giant. I should ask about the servant who overwhelmed Saber. Berserker. According to Saber and Tosaka, he's likely the strongest servant, if only in battle. Which is arguably the most important thing to be the strongest in during a Grail War where you're supposed to kill everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be very useful to summon a servant who's you know, like, the strongest in tea ceremonies. It wouldn't really help, would it?
I would love that. I would be so happy if I summoned a servant who was a master in tea. There's a servant who's a master in tea ceremonies, isn't there?
There's a servant who's, like, everything, basically. But the one... I don't think she's specifically tea-oriented, but it is a saber, interestingly.
Because I made that statement and Inu immediately reached for his phone.
So, there's Benny Enma, who runs an entire fucking inn and is like a chef and things, and is also a burb. So that's the thing. I'm Saber's greatest weakness, so I asked whether she's unable to demonstrate her full potential just because she formed a contract with an inexperienced master like me.
それは違う、シロ。たとえあなたが成熟したマスターであろうと、バーサーカーが強敵であることは変わりません。この問題で、あなたが自らの未熟を責めることはない。
Oh, so there was, like, recently a Tea Master servant as well.
そうかもしれないけど、実際セイバーは多くの制約を負ってるんだろう。
Oh yeah, Bakin. Hold on, did I get Bakin? Can I pull Bakin up?
もしセイバーが本来のセイバーだったら、
I get a feeling if you can't, Bio can, based
Well,
on
I
Bio
mean, I
pointing
don't
that out.
know if I have Bakin in my servant list. I don't think I summoned Bakin. But I can probably pull her from the servant record. Material servant, spirit origin list. Skip down to the new stuff. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't, but she's
私が
here.
万
I
全
just
であろう
can't
と、
view her because I
バー
don't
サーカーを
have her.
倒すことは難しい。
Maybe somebody in my friends list has her posted.
どのようなサーバントであれ、あの巨人を追い詰めることは不可能かもしれない。シロ、あの夜の戦いを覚えていますか？バーサーカーはリンの魔術を難なく弾きました。彼には私のようなタイマルクは備わっていない。あれはただ肉体の強度のみで
I think Bio
リンの魔
beat you
術を
to
無
it,
効化した
you
の
know?
です。
I
There's
assume,
also Sen no Rikyu.
I assume This person
that-
and that person are the ones in question.
Well, yeah, that's Sendo Rikyu. Yeah, I didn't pull Rikyu either. Did I? Did I pull Rikyu? Am I forgetting that I pulled Rikyu?
I like the one with the red poppy in her hair.
It's actually the same servant.
Well, her long black hair and flower
Oh
in
yeah.
her hair
No, I did pull Rikyu.
makes me happy.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's Sendo Rikyu stroke Komahime, who are both T-based servants. So that's Rikyu, and there's... Yeah, I did pull Rikyu stroke Komahime. There we go. Cool. Anyway. Yeah, Heracles was just like, no, actually, Green's attack was not at least a B rank, so he just doesn't get hurt by it.
Virus is on the top of the servers. Why is that a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Oh yeah, Kijio Koyo. Yeah, I have the T-Rex waifu. Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
I don't remember specifically why that's a thing, but I do have her here somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
But
Yeah, I have her in not her dinosaur form. She's only a T-Rex, like, in the one ascension. Other than that, she's a person.
I love that. Yeah, it's like technically that's actually an Oni because reasons.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's a T-Rex.
No, it's an Oni.
I refuse. I know what Oni masks look like. That's not an Oni. That's a T-Rex.
違います。バーサーカーはリンの魔術に耐えたのではなく弾いたのです。この違いは大きい。攻撃に耐えたというのならその箇所を必要に狙えばいつか鎧は砕け散るでしょう。ですが弾いたのなら
Oni
別
should
だ。
not be magical girls by.
リンの魔術は
That's
そもそも
That,
バー
that's
サーカー
not
に
how
届いていなかった。
culturally Onis are supposed to. No! Put the phone down! Put it down! Put it down!
Allow me to introduce you to Caster Shuten Doji, who is an Oni magical girl.
魔術を無効化したってことか。
Why is this a thing? What is wrong with the people that created this franchise? I don't understand.
はい。ですが先ほど言っ
Joke
たように
event for Halloween,
バーサーカー
yeah.
は対魔力のスキルを持っていない。となると、彼の宝具が魔術を弾いたとしか思えない。これは憶測ですが、バーサーカーの宝具は鎧です。それも単純な鎧ではなく、概念武装と呼ばれる魔術理論に近い。おそらく、バーサーカーには一定の水準に達していない攻撃を全て無効化する能力がある。私の剣、リンの魔術が通じなかったのはそのためでしょう。
Oni Magifender Shuten Doji. Yeah, exactly.
バーサーカーの正体がギリシャの大英雄であるのなら、その能力はほぼ A ランクです。彼に傷を負わせたいのなら、少なくとも彼と同じランクの攻撃数値を用いなければならないと思います。
Her normal form liquefies people into wine and drinks them, so, you know, a bit more Oni-like.
Honestly, feels less Oni, more Bacchus to me.
Then she's got her like,
はい。
boing boing
言いに
form,
くいのですが、通常攻撃であろうと、
where she,
Sorry, try that again?
her
A ラ
boing
ンクに
boing
届かない
form,
攻撃は
where
全
she
て
has
無効化
boobs,
されるでしょう。
and is also a giant snake woman who kills things with a sword.
Why?
Why not?
Like, I get that a lot of that to pull people in the way they do, they need absolutely everything to be a waifu. But it hurts my soul, Inu.
Have we mentioned Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus yet?
No.
Because she's also looks like Artoria and is a woman. Oh, and Leonardo da Vinci? Technically a man, but has used magecraft to make himself look like the Mona Lisa. And, oh, Francis Drake is also a woman pirate.
Why? I mean, I get it. Boobs sell. But this is so unnecessary.
And as Bio points out, I am purposefully describing it poorly to fuck with you.
I trust that, Bio, because no one knows how to hurt my brain better than my brother. But
Purple flowers.
no, see, what's happening is we're getting close to 10 o'clock, and he just really wants me to rage quit stream again like I did a few weeks ago.
Remember back when we talked about siblings hurting each other to show that they care? Yeah, this is just you torturing Willow. Yep, as you do.
あの巨人を倒したいのなら、少なくとも A ランクの通常攻撃力と、それを上回る宝具が必要になってきます。
Well, it's a good thing your noble phantasm exceeds that level, then. I close my eyes and remember Saber's abilities. Saber's strength. Her normal attacks are rank B, and her noble phantasm is rank C. That is bullshit. You haven't seen her real noble phantasm yet. Unbelievable. If what Saber's saying is true, there's no way we can even hurt Berserker, let alone defeat him.
ちょっと待った。筋力と宝具の基準は違うんじゃないのか。いくらランクが低いからって宝具ってのは強力な武器なんだろ。なら筋力に置き換えれば A ランクに届くんじゃないのか。
Also, Leonardo da Vinci didn't use magecraft to look like the Mona Lisa. He just showed up looking like that because of how famous the painting is, and then she just decided to roll with it.
A ないし A プラスに該当します。
And then eventually,
ですが、バーサーカーを守る
Da
断り
Vinci
は
got
物理的な法則外のもので
compromised
す。
and just made himself a new
たとえ
body
世界を滅ぼせる
that's
宝具
actually
であれ
female.
それが A ランクに届いていないものならば無力化するという概念です。
じゃあ次に襲われた時が。
Oh yeah, and also the new body is also a lolly. True story. And she has a maid outfit, but only sometimes. And roller skates, but also only sometimes.
So what I'm hearing is Sarge is a particularly large fan of that iteration.
I mean, I quite like Ryder Da Vinci myself, but mostly she's very good for farming. And then she had a ruler
いい
variant.
え、どのような英霊であろうと必ず弱点が存在します。少なくともバーサーカーは対上レベルの攻撃手段を持っていない。襲われたところで一撃で全滅するという事態は避けられる。
She does also run people over with a fucking tank. True story.
その間にシローは撤退できますし、何らかの援護をしてもらうことで勝算が見えるかもしれない。
結局撤退が大前提なんだな。それまでになんとかバーサーカーの弱点を探さなくちゃいけないってことか。で、そういえば対上レベルの攻撃方法ってのは何だ
Oh yeah, and her ruler version fights using robot dinosaurs.
宝具の攻撃力のことです。
It was a joke summer event.
一騎打ちで進化を発揮する対人宝具。
Yes, anti-personnel is like gay Vogue. Anti-army, well, I mean, it's your AoE doom spell.
そ
It's
して
fireball.
一撃
And
で全てを消する退場法
Anti-fortress is just like...
Meteor swarm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. If anti-army is fireball, anti-fortress is meteor swarm. It's your 9th level spells you use to level buildings.
宝具は大きくこの3つに分類されます。
And then there's some that are anti-world, but I don't know if we have to worry about those in Stay Night or not. I see. Anti-army and anti-fortress attacks, just from their names, sound like giant missiles. They'd wipe out Tosaka and me in an instant.
Grenade
Nuke. Luckily, Berserker doesn't have any attacks like that.
That you know
ですが
of.
その欠点を補うのがマスターです。イリア・スピールは膨大な魔力の塊だった。彼女が卓越した魔術師であり、バーサーカーが彼女の守護に徹するのなら、私は白を守りきることができないでしょう。
I see. Berserker isn't our only concern. Master and servant are one. I'm Saber's weakness in that regard, too.
それじゃあ他のやつのことだけど。
待ってください、シロ。屋敷の門を人がくぐりました。
そんなことわかるのか。ってもうこんな時間。まずい。きっとさくらが帰ってきたんだ。
The doorbell rings, and from the front entrance,
お邪魔します。
I hear Sakura's voice.
そういえば悪いんだがその。
分かっています。部屋に戻っていますから、私のことは気にせずに。
Saber goes back to her room, almost as if switching with Saber.
ただいま。感心感心。ちゃんと先に帰ってたわね。
Tosaka walks in, laden with shopping bags.
お邪魔します先輩。珍しいですね。先輩がこんな早くから帰ってきてくれるのって。
Yeah, Reen told me to come home right after school. Sakura walks in, smiling happily.
よし、準備は完璧だ。
This might
そ
be
れ
a
じゃあ
good
始めるとしましょうか。
space to stop, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty close, time-wise.
Last thing was a
Yeah, last thing was a
so
choice
if
point.
needed.
So, today we've learned about Da Vinci, and Da Vinci, and Da Vinci, all three of them.
And I'm equally offended by all three.
Yeah, but like, look how cute she is.
Why is she on kitty? Something with giant cat ears.
That's a really good question that I don't have an answer to. Look, roller skates. Look, ice skates.
Okay, I'm here for the one with ice skates.
Look, roller skates and a maid outfit.
Nope.
And that's just normal. And then the ruler one... Hey, he gets a swimsuit. And a gun.
Okay, but if people can't tell me why Rider 1's first portrait has them riding something that clearly has cat
Oh no,
ears.
that's their last one, actually. And it's because they're a rider, they have to ride something. Those are the rules when you're a rider.
Oh no, I'm making people Google things again.
It's fine. There's never any danger in Googling fate things. Definitely not. Nothing could possibly go wrong from doing such a thing ever.
Well, the thing is, I can't Google anything fate related. I can't have spoilers.
True story, yeah.
So I literally need people to Google for me.
Incidentally, I was saying Nero Claudius.
That's upsetting.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Why do they have a guitar? Why do I keep asking questions?
Look, it was a joke idol event, okay? Anyway, that's her actual costume. And then she gets a lion head on her one arm, but we don't worry about that. And then she had a gym uniform one time. And then this time she was dressed up as Venus. And then her pumpkin fucking rocker outfit. She has a lot of costumes as Nero.
I do love that Bio follows up.
And then she's got her separate bride form.
I do love that Bio follows up with, I genuinely have no idea what the fuck that cat thing she's on is.
Yeah, it's just there. It's not in any of her art. It's not in any of her attacks. It's just there. I thought it was necessary. Nero has been many things, but she's never been Santa, and that's hilarious with context. Yeah. She's not been Santa yet, and we keep waiting for it. One of these years, she will be Santa. Because the meme of... the meme of fate Santas started with Nero. If I can just get my fucking Google to work correctly. So it started with Potteru Nero.
Alright, well, I should probably get home before my neighbors... one particular neighbor themselves again.
Oh, yeah, you definitely want to get home before the violent gun crime starts again.
I mean, that was a great way to wake up at 3 a.m. So...
Until next week, everyone!
Catch you later!